is the Put It in the Air podcast. This is the Put It in the Air podcast.
Yes. Welcome in, everyone, to the Put It in the Air podcast. I'm your host, Brendan Casello, a.k.a. East Coast Virus.
And I'm Pascal Ross Philippe, a.k.a. Punksin Drublick.
Welcome back, Pascal Ross Philippe. It's been a little bit.
It's been a while.
Yeah, we were trying so hard to get on the mic, get on the phone, and we just, the holidays, the Christmas, New Year's extravaganza just kept rearing its beautiful face.
I think that we tried every single day for like 4 or 5 days before Christmas.
We did.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough this time of year. We have families and expectations and responsibilities.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how it goes, isn't it?
Christmas Eve morning, we got on the phone and we were like, all right, ready for this? And then I'm like, you know what, dude? My dad's like waiting for me right now.
Yeah, it was like 11:30 at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's tough. It's tough to find the time.
So we're like, we'll do
but
it
here we
tomorrow.
are.
And then we'd fall asleep and
Yeah.
lots of excuses. Mostly my fault, but the
I wasn't gonna
good,
place blame,
good
but,
excuses.
No, I mean, listen, I think we were both asleep half of the time. I know I was
True.
going deep into the Christmas movie with my daughter. So
Perfect.
um
Any great new ones? I know I recommended a few to you.
so I mean, the one that you recommended, the main one, Christmas Chronicles, right?
Yes. Excellent movie.
That is her favorite Christmas movie right now.
Awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. I love that movie, and I think everybody should watch it. If you haven't seen it, it's one of the new Christmas movies, instant classic.
Yeah, it's really good. Even the second one is good. So we watched that, I don't know, a dozen times maybe, and she picked out Home Alone on her own.
Nice.
I wasn't gonna show it to her until later.
Okay.
Because it's more of an older kid thing normally.
It's fun but violent for a little older kid.
A little bit
definitely.
older. But she picked it out, and so I was like, all right, whatever. Like, I was only gonna wait a year or two more, so it's not that big of a difference. And that is her second favorite Christmas movie.
Just
Yeah.
wait a few years, because A Christmas Story and my recommendation of A Christmas Story Christmas, which is one of my favorites. I cannot believe that anybody would not enjoy that movie. It's just so insane how many people come back, and it's just so good.
Yeah,
if you haven't
yeah.
seen it, go see it now.
Yeah. And the big thing with Home Alone was like making sure that she realizes that like all the stuff that's being done is bad, right?
Yeah.
Like that Kevin is not being nice, right? That his parents are doing really bad things by leaving him alone. like it's a lot of like, this is fun and we can enjoy this because it's a movie.
Yeah.
But what they're doing is bad. So I just wanted to make sure that we're on the same page.
And Daddy's friend Marvellis is not a sticky bandit. All right, don't call
He
him
is
Marv.
not. He is not. That is not Uncle Marv.
What's up, Unc? We got a lot to talk about you.
Yeah. Speaking of Marv,
Ellis. You can't do that.
Marv Ellis. Thank you.
You could call him
Thank you. Speaking of Trey, speaking
Prancer,
of my long,
Panda Bear, whatever.
my long-term friend, Marv Ellis. Yeah, he's gonna be coming on the show again.
Okay.
Sometime soon, won't he?
Good, yeah. I think we'll probably have a few special guests. We're probably trying to do like a live Super Bowl episode and probably an episode during the playoffs, maybe 2. We'll see what we could do schedule-wise.
Yeah, we're looking at least 2 more episodes that we're trying to do. The Super Bowl episode and an off-season episode. But maybe another one, add a third one for the playoffs. I think 4 is ambitious, but
Yeah, it's ambitious, but if we find the time, we have the voices and the knowledge.
Yeah, but you guys got us at least 2 more times. So I guess like on that note, we should probably
See what happened over the last 20 days or however many days it's been since we've recorded.
Yeah.
So let's get right into it and jump into our first segment, which is, dude, what happened? And we'll begin with the PETA
Pun down.
Awesome. So, because we skipped last week, we do want to give you guys a pun down rundown, PETA rundown of the semifinal matchups. So would you like to begin with your matchup? We each covered one.
Yeah, sure. So I had Catch This Fade versus Salute Your Short Fellows.
Salute.
Actually, no. Let's give them their due. Let's give them their reverb.
They're
The
like-
reverb.
Oh, yes, you're right. We did.
Not the pitch.
Yes.
The reverb.
Yes, the reverb. Is it the pitch or the reverb?
No, because the
Oh, yeah,
pitch.
because
You know, I'm talking like that.
oh, yeah, true. All right. All right, here we go. Ready?
3, 2, 1. Catch This Fade versus Salute Your Short Fellows. Starting out the week, Trey had to be a little nervous as he saw Bo Nix put up 21 points on Thursday, hoping his decision to start him wouldn't be a mistake. And on Saturday, and as Saturday started out, nope, messed that up. And on Saturday, he started out with only 13 points from Nico Collins in a game where he should have been the focal point after Tank Dell went down with a knee injury.
Yikes.
But it set the stage for a week where he only had one player score in single digits. Entering Sunday, Mike still had hope, despite only 3 games from the Broncos D on Thursday, and was rewarded with a big game from James Conner before he went down with an injury, as he put up 26.6 points. But Conner leaving early was a bummer for the short fellow, as he knew points would be at a premium against such a strong opponent. Watching Jamison Williams score 26 points on his bench, while Malik Neighbors scored only 13.8, was a Christmas gift for Salute Your Short Fellows, as Catch This Fade was wondering if he was being Scrooged. But 36.4 points for Justin Jefferson, 32.5 points for Chuba Hubbard, and 25.4 points for Jahmyr Gibbs overshadowed 4.7 points for TJ Hawkinson, while 10 points from kicker Jake Bates and a huge 25 points from his Sly as a Fox pickup in the Falcons defense had him sitting under the mistletoe, feeling Megan good.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, Salute Your Short Fellows only had 2 players in single digits, but also only 2 players over 20. Going into the late games, Mike was in a good spot, having gotten 22.94 points from Sam Darnold and 17 from Terry McLaurin to go along with James Conner's 26. He got good showings from George Kittle with 18.6 and Jalen McMillan with 16.7. But Mike Evans only scored 11.9, and kicker Will Reichard scored 11. Coming into Monday night, he needed career games from Kendre Miller and Jaden Reed, but ended up with only 16 points combined, as he saw his season dissolve down to the 3rd place game. In the end, this one was never close, as Catch This Fade took a lead on Saturday and never looked back, en route to almost 200 points, winning 199.88 to 143.94 over Salute Your Short Fellows. Marvelous advanced to face Billy in the championship game as Trey goes for his 2nd championship.
Steal Your Face Mask versus the MILF Fuckers. The first place MILF Fuckers started this week off projected to win by about 10 fantasy points. The actual matchup started Saturday afternoon as Steal Your Face Mask inserts the Chiefs defense against the sometimes dangerous Texans offense, and they put up 7. The MILF-fuckers topped that in the next game with their kicker Justin Tucker booting in 12 points. But Billy rules out superstar Lamar Jackson, who puts up 20.5 points, leading Billy into Sunday 27.5 to 12. To open the day, Scott has the projected win by 13. But this is fantasy football, folks, and you play to win the game. Or at least you watch the players play so you can win the game. There were some crossover matchups, and they were all underperformers. Billy's Marvin Harrison outscored Scott's Trey McBride 7.9 to 5. Ugh. Scott's Khalil Shakir outperformed Billy's Amari Cooper 4.2 to 2. Yuck. Minus Zach Ertz putting up only 2.2 points for the Millfuckers. That's where the duds ended in the Sunday earlier games. On the other hand, Scott was thrilled with performances from Brock Purdy with 21.12, Bijan Robinson with 24.3, T. Higgins with 19.8, and the Bengals defense with an outstanding 18. Drake London exited early against the Giants after putting up only 10.8. As for Steal Your Face Mask, he enjoyed Sunday afternoon performances from Kyron Williams with 19.9, Jonnu Smith with 12.2, and the MVP of his matchup, Mr. Jonathan Taylor with 39.8. Damn. He had lackluster output from Garrett Wilson with 11.4 and Tanks Bigsby with 10.1. Due to Jonathan Taylor's ridiculous 3-touchdown performance, Billy went into Sunday night matchup facing Cowboys running back Rico Dowdle while putting up Buccaneers kicker Chase McLaughlin, and he was up 130 to 117. The possibility of the Cowboys dominating the Bucs with the run game was the only hope Scott had left. McLaughlin only put up 6 points, meaning that if Rico Dowdle could eclipse 20, Scott would edge this one out. Unfortunately for the Millfuckers, the Cowboys failed him. Dowdle underperformed and put up just 8.1 fantasy points. And when it was all said and done, Steal Your Face Mask Dollar Bill's Destroyers. God, it's so hard to say. Goes back to the championship to defend his title as he eliminates the Millfuckers 136.78 to 125.62. It was a close one. It was a good...
Yeah, that was a good one.
Good one. I mean, it was better than the other one that we just went over.
So you know what I realized? It's difficult to recapture the cadence of something you wrote weeks ago.
It is difficult. And you start to realize, like, wait a sec. Wait, Jonathan Taylor went that off? Damn.
Yeah.
And Trey McBride with, what, 4? What the...
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah.
Or 7.9. Let me recant that. Okay, so...
Yeah, those were good matchups. I know we were disappointed that Scott lost out to Billy, setting up for what ended up being a hell of a championship week. Now, if Scott had not messed it up, then
it would have been even more insane.
Yeah,
it would have been.
Well,
it would have been. Well,
it would. Yeah, it would have been.
Let's cover the next 2 games, and we'll tell you what it would have actually been.
All right.
But let's just run this back real quick because this is the championship. PETA Championship.
Rundown.
Yes. I just love that drop. And in this matchup, we'll have to do this together. And we'll start with Marv, right? Catch This Fade versus Steal Your Face Mask. He was at a loss for words.
I had no idea what you wanted to do.
All right, let's get into this one. This is
And then I forgot Billy's name after that.
This is the cream of the crop. We didn't write it down. All right. Here we go. The championship. Wednesday, December 25th, Christmas Day. Steal Your Face Mask puts up the Chiefs defense, who, after sacking Russell Wilson 5 times, were also able to pick him off once. They did, however, allow him to scamper free for a 25-yard touchdown. But wait! Zadarius Smith had something to say about that as he pops Russell Wilson at the 2-yard line, causing him to cough the football up leading the Chiefs to a blowout win where they allow the Steelers only 10 offensive points as they start this matchup off with a 13-burger for Steal Your Face Mask defense and special teams.
In the early one, Marvelous, the Funky Town Grinch, left Cole and George Pickens' terrible towel as Marvelous left his 8 points on the bench, deciding instead on Jamison Williams upside to take the place of an injured Chuba Hubbard. Meanwhile, Nico Collins, however, was a Christmas gift in a primetime matchup against the Ravens that was sure to be fireworks. There was no question one of the league's most dynamic wide receivers would show up for a clash of AFC Titans. Not those AFC Titans. But unfortunately for Catch This Fade, the only thing that blew up for the Texans was Tank Dell's knee. But we here at PETA Podcast wish him a full recovery because we don't wish injury upon people. Right, Brendan?
Yes, right.
All right. Anyway, Nico only put up 0.9 more than George Pickens, leaving him with only 8.9 points under the tree.
In the same game, Lamar Jackson threw the ball just 15 times, tying his lowest output of the season for Steal Your Face Mask, after completing only 10 of those for his lowest completions of the season and second lowest passing yards to go with that. Lamar was able to dodge a poor performance by throwing 2 touchdowns and running the ball 4 times for 87 yards and a touchdown as well.
Whoa.
Over 20 yards per carry hoist Lamar to 29.42 fantasy points, giving Steal Your Face Mask the projected win as the Christmas games closed out. Thursday, December 26th. Phew! No players in a terrible fantasy 3-6 matchup. Great. Saturday, December 28th.
Bo Nix, after seeing Lamar and the Chiefs defense put Billy up big coming out of Christmas Day, Catch This Fade was looking for a monster game from rookie QB Bo Nix going up against Joey B and the Bengals. While a last-second touchdown toss gave him a respectable 21.86, it paled in comparison to Lamar's huge Christmas performance as Marvelous watched his opponent start to leave him in the dust.
Oh, that dust. In the same game, Steal Your Face Max dodges a bullet by benching Javonte Williams' 0 carry, 2 catch for 0 yard performance and Devon Vele's 2 catch for 27 yard performance. In the evening game, Billy made the right moves by starting his keeper Kyren Williams, carrying the ball 13 times for 56 yards, and he caught 3 passes for 16. Doesn't sound great, but a touchdown towards the end of the first half salvages his fantasy day as he puts up a respectable 16.2, a little under his projection. In a concurrent, obvious move, he benched backup Blake Corum's -4 yards on 3 carries. On the other side of the ball, Steal Your Face Mask rolled the dice. Marvin Harrison, and he did not disappoint as he turned 10 targets into 6 catches for 96 yards, leading to a better than projected 15.6 fantasy points. Sunday, December 29th.
James Cook, Malik Neighbors, Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, Dolphins D, with Ray Davis on the bench, Chuba Hubbard on the bench, I don't know his first name, Blackshear on the bench,
Raheem,
Devin Singletary on the bench, Anthony Richardson on the bench, and what's his name? Love. And
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love on the bench. Ay. Coming into Sunday, injuries made it so there was no question who Marvelous would be relying on to attempt to catch up with Bill's relentless onslaught. James Cook didn't do much to help, though his 11.3 didn't hurt. However, Malik Neighbors managed to keep things interesting in the 1 o'clock window as he exploded with his highest score of the year with 36.1 points. 29 points from Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson in the 4 o'clock game helped keep Catch This Fade on track, but didn't make the dent Marvelous was hoping for. 12 points from the Dolphins defense in the Sunday night game meant Trey would be going into Monday night with only one of his 7 starters scoring more than their counterparts on the other team, with Catch This Fade looking to his trio of Lions to show up for him in the last gasp effort.
In the busy slot, Steal Your Face Mask started Jets Garrett Wilson as he turned 8 targets into 7 catches for 66 yards and a game-saving touchdown. Even after losing a costly fumble, he still finished the day with 17.6. An inactive Amari Cooper helped Billy make the decision to bench one of his best wide receivers. Instead, Billy chose to roll out the newly acquired Chig Okonkwo. After 2 consecutive weeks with double-digit targets, he was given only 7 and 1 carry, which he was able to turn into 10.9 fantasy points, which would be Steal Your Face Mask's lowest scoring player of the championship. For his other flex spot, Bill decided to start Raiders backup running back Amir Abdullah, who got almost all the work in Vegas and was able to turn 24 touches into 147 scrimmage yards, putting up 17.7 fantasy points without a touchdown. Impressive move, Bill, I'd say. Sly as a fox. Over in Tampa Bay, Chase McLaughlin was his kicker. He dropped 13 in a rout of the Panthers. This is where the wrong choice was made as he benched Baker Mayfield's outstanding performance of 34.56. The emergence of Jonnu Smith has been something outstanding, and Steal Your Face Mask could not bench him as he's been the #1 tight end over the previous 5 weeks. Unfortunately, he had his worst performance since week 10, putting up only 11.6 on just 3 targets and a truly game-saving touchdown. Over in the Meadowlands, Billy's other outstanding keeper, Jonathan Taylor, ran all over the place as he ran the ball 32 times for 125 yards and 2 touchdowns, finishing the day with 27.6. In that same game, Steal Your Face Mask decided to bench Wan'Dale Robinson, who finished the day with an outstanding 18.1 fantasy points. Who knew how fantasy-friendly this matchup would have been? Steal Your Face Mask also cleverly benched Tanks Bigsby, who was able to turn 12 touches into just 3.3 fantasy points in a timeshare on a bad team, finishing his matchup with 171.62. He had some comfort, knowing that he was up by 52.46, as Catch This Fade was at 119.16, with a few players to go Monday evening. Monday, December 30th.
Jahmyr Gibbs, Jameson Williams, Jake Bates. Down huge after Billy's team showed up for championship week, Trey had Jahmyr Gibbs, Jameson Williams, and kicker Jake Bates to make up a deficit of 52.46 points.
Wow.
He knew that with David Montgomery out, Gibbs should be a lock for at least 20 points. But Jameson has been spotty all year had been spotty all year. Though he was sporting a 3-game streak of double-digit points, as well as 5 out of the last 6 games. Jameson got things kicked off with a nifty hook and ladder for a touchdown to get him an early 10 points. But he didn't stop there as he continues to be involved in the Lions offense and ended with 5 receptions for 77 yards and a touchdown to go along with a rushing touchdown for a total of 24.5 points.
Wow.
The Lions' dedication to the run didn't take a break with Montgomery out, as Gibbs was a central piece in the offense. 117 rushing yards on 18 carries to go along with 4 catches for 46 yards was a great start for Catch This Fade, but it wasn't quite enough to overcome the mountain that is Steal Your Face Mask. With 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, however, with Marvellis wondering if his last chance was slipping away, Jahmyr Gibbs decided to slip away from the 49ers defense for a 30-yard touchdown of what would be the winning points for Catch This Fade as he takes down Steal Your Face Mask 179.96 to 171.62.
A heavy hitting final.
It's
Wow.
so good, I'm about to die over it.
Let's let you drink some water and then round of applause, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Marvellis, man.
Yeah.
Catch This Fade, the 2024 Put It in the Air champion.
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Hey, man, he's now has 2 trophies to join Sean, Colin, and myself. And Billy stays at 3, so we're gunning for you next year there, Mr. Face Mask.
Yep. Still
Really?
got the Never Nudes. We're still wading into the pool with our shorts on. But
You and Jay and who else?
Yep, Scott. Scott's sitting there with us. Hey. Aggie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike and Frank won once.
Yep.
Damn, it's just really interesting how it went down. I'm happy that the final came down to the final game of the week. It was just such a cool way to see it.
Well, and the final minutes of
It was the final-
game, like that touchdown by Jahmyr Gibbs was literally with like 3 minutes left on the clock.
I was so mad. I was rooting for you, Marv, but I was so mad at that. Well, I'll tell you later. Marvellis. 1-1. All right.
We're gonna need like a buzzer, like a cancel button.
Yeah. Shoot. Well, sorry, Marvellis. Sorry, Trey. Sorry, Prancer. Anyways, so yeah, man, what a crazy ending. It was great to see both the championship teams involved in the championship score such tremendous amounts. I mean, those would have been good most weeks for a top score payment. Like, you guys both put your best foot forward. However, Billy did leave the win on the bench, Wan'Dale Robinson and Baker Mayfield over some of his other players, like if he switched him out for Chig and Lamar, but nobody's going to do that.
I mean,
nobody's
yeah,
doing
I
that.
can't. The Wan'Dale over Chig, I guess I could see that
Maybe,
one.
maybe.
That one was a mistake on
And-
his part.
And that would have made it like maybe a half a point. I think he still would have lost.
He still would have lost.
Yeah.
No, he needed a few points still with Wan'Dale.
He lost by
He needed both of them. And,
9.34. So
And so
Mayfield would have given him 5, and Wan'Dale could have given him about 7.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
together
So
they would have won.
he still would, right. Wan'Dale alone would have only been like 7 points.
Yeah.
And so he still would have been behind by like 2 or 3.
Dude, and Craig Reynolds
But-
was getting a lot of carries towards the end of the game, and it's like, wait, the Lions are not really, it's not very important tonight for them to win this game, but next week, which actually was last night's game, was a much more important game. Lions-Vikings, we'll get into that later. Very awesome.
Yeah.
Wish I put some money on that because I called it exactly how it was.
Yeah.
So, how about the third place game?
So the third place game was really interesting because, first off, Scott laid the smackdown on Mike.
The smackdown. Well, that's what happens when you have a flex that scores 1.6 and 1.5 and Jaden Reed and Terry McLaurin. Damn, what happened there?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that really wouldn't have made much of a difference because Scott had had 3 players over 30,
Yeah.
1 player over 40, and
Two
had
players
two
at about
more
25.
that were 25,
Yeah.
right? So it's like,
So basically 50 exactly out of Bijan and Zach Ertz. I mean,
Right.
smart
And then-
playing Zach Ertz, dude. I mean, he's been on fire.
Brock, Trey McBride, and T. Higgins were 100 points
Yeah.
just between the three of them.
That's actually
So-
more than 100. Yeah, just
Yeah,
a little like 101 and change.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so you've
Insane.
got 150 points between five players.
Yeah,
so
and that would have beat Mike just like that.
just by themselves.
And underwhelming
Um,
out of everyone else. I mean, you know, his
Well, I mean,
defense, his
Drake, not
kicker.
really. Drake London
Drake
put
London,
up 18.
He did do well.
But
But-
yeah, Rico Dowdle put up 10. Khalil Shakir put up 5.5. Justin Tucker 9. Bengals 4.
And then Mike, it's funny because his running backs did terrible, just like his flex. He had 2.8 and 2.9 out of James
Yeah.
Conner and Kendrick Miller, but he decided to go ahead and play two Bucks receivers as his receivers, and that shit paid off.
Yo, the Bucks
53.
offense was just a good look this year. I mean,
Damn.
I was able to start both Rashad White,
Yeah.
and
And Bucky Irving.
and
Almost
both of that
half
was
the
a smart
season.
move.
It was.
Yeah, it was a smart move the entire season. I just didn't trust it.
One of the
at first.
only teams where you were able to do that, besides like the Lions, obviously before Montgomery's injury.
But I mean, their wide receivers were the same way because before Chris Godwin went down, he was a must start for Billy early in the season.
Yeah, you weren't benching Evans or Godwin.
So
healthy.
really, like all four of, and then K. Dotton, right?
Yeah.
He was a good start.
And,
So
and Mayfield, I mean,
And Baker,
just
right.
look at
Baker
that.
was
Imagine
baking.
Mike had the stack; it might have been a little different.
True.
He did outperform the defense and kicker. He put up 24 against 13 for Scott,
yeah.
and then he also, had a good performance from Kittle at 19.2.
But
And
so here's
Darnold.
where like it all really comes full circle though, is that Scott was this top scoring team of the week. Actually, I didn't look through all of them, but
No, he was.
probably right.
Yeah,
Like,
100,
no one else.
100%.
Yeah, and so if he hadn't messed up his lineup the week before, he would have won the championship.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, he would have destroyed Marvellis.
Which is saying something,
Right,
'Cause-
by like 20 points. He put up 20 more points than Velas did, and he had the winning lineup on his bench the week before going up against Billy.
Yeah.
But
Impressive, man. Like the
that's
championship.
how the cookie crumbles.
The championship was the 2 against the 4, and the third place game was the 1 against the 3. And the 1 was third, the 2 was first, the third was fourth, and the fourth was second. It's good to see that.
Yeah. Congratulations to all three of you for being in the money. That's an accomplishment, right? Like, you deserve kudos for that. Y'all had
sure.
really good seasons.
Yeah. You guys killed it. Everybody got paid at 4 a.m. Thank you very much. I am done hearing it. And enjoy your dollars and spend them wisely.
yeah.
All right.
Please do. But yeah, no, well done. Congrats, Velas. That's all you, bro.
Yeah.
And I'll say that, like, despite Collins closing out to the season, despite Scott's like run in first place to close out the season,
and Sean's surge, which was tremendous.
right? Despite all of that stuff, I think that we can all agree that Marvellis was the most dominant team
Oh yeah.
throughout the season.
It's not very common that the most dominant team sweeps the playoffs and wins the championship. So it's
Right.
nice to see here and there.
I
Not
think
every
that,
time,
like,
but
if anyone deserves it as far as like dominance goes,
Yeah.
I say that he deserves it.
yeah.
Billy is
In a-
always the scariest
Bro,
team in
in
the
a-
league,
in
as we saw in our interviews.
In a league-wide, like the history of the league, Billy's dominance is something to be
Right.
scared of. I mean, he won it last year.
Most steadily
his
dominant.
third time, steadily dominant.
We need to do something about that. So, I'm putting the onus on the rest of the league.
Yeah.
But also
Choose your keepers wisely and start
Right.
off right.
But also, I do have some changes that I want to suggest that I think will bring some parity to the league, and will offer people some pathways to improve their team at more than just, the draft, waiver wire, trades up through a certain point. I think that I'll preview one. I think that if we extend the trade deadline to before the draft and include draft picks in tradable assets, then I think that is something that will add a new wrinkle to the league.
I would call it some spice. Add some spice.
Yeah, because I know that like I'm looking around and like not everyone has great keeper assets.
Don't look at me.
But some of us have extra keeper assets, and so it would make sense to trade, someone who you're going to be able to keep for a 10th, a 9th, an 8th. Maybe trade one of your draft picks, a third round pick for someone that might have value.
It's not a bad idea. We would have to get a majority vote on these things. On our next episode, we're gonna have a lot of space since there's not gonna be any fantasy talk. Based on the week prior. So I think we'll be covering NFL playoffs prior to the Super Bowl at least one of these weeks, and we're gonna lay out a bunch of ideas. So you guys definitely make sure you listen to that episode. And also listen towards the end of this episode. There's a lot of excitement to be heard. But in the meantime, I say we move along to our next segment. And that begins with this. It's in the air. What do we got in the air this week, bud?
Like we were talking about a second ago, we wanted to get everyone's input on their lives and the season and kind of their football journey in general. And we took another step on that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We actually took another step a little over 2 weeks ago. So,
he was asking in the chat.
The time on this is not the best because he was still alive going for the chip. But we checked in with the Milfuckers, our buddy Scott Carruthers, and it went a little something like this.
Go. Yo. We have Scott Carruthers on the line. You guys know him more as the Milfuckers. What is going on, Scott?
Not much, man. What's going on, y'all?
Saturday,
watching
college football playoffs.
Dude, I'm just chilling at the house, man. Cleaning up a little bit.
Yeah. You watch college football or not really?
Nah, not really. Nope.
Me neither. I should watch more, but I don't really give it enough time. Because NFL games are on right now, by the way.
Yeah, what is it, Baltimore playing? Yeah, I think Baltimore's playing.
The Chiefs and the Texans are in halftime.
Oh, my bad.
The Chiefs, dude, they get I'm not one to complain about the refs, but they get so many flags. There's so many plays on 3rd and 4th down that they got flags in the first half that were so ridiculous. It's like, oh, damn, Patrick Mahomes just got sacked. And then it's like, it was a fumble touchdown for the Texans. And then they deliberated for mad long. And they're like, it was deemed to be an incomplete pass after they called it a touchdown, which is all right. But then they're like, plus a 15-yard personal foul. And it's like, what the fuck? I don't know. Very annoying.
Yeah, I honestly don't normally watch much college football either, and I totally forgot that the NFL was on, because if I'd remembered, I wouldn't be watching college football right now.
Scott, if you got anybody going right now?
Not right now. The second game of today, though, that's when Baltimore's playing 4:30.
Wait, you're playing against Billy, right? So Billy does he have any Chiefs or Texans? I don't think he does in that league.
No, I don't think he has anybody playing. No, nobody's playing right now for him. Oh, I'm sorry. Chiefs defense.
Oh, okay.
So right now he has Chiefs. Yeah. What's that?
We have something in common, man. We're both facing Billy this week. I'm actually facing him in Jay's league, and he's got Travis Kelce, who's kind of shitting the bed in the first half, so I'm crossing my fingers.
Right. And, so you're in the playoffs in that league?
Yeah, playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
It's a playoff matchup. Yeah, I'm in the playoffs in that league and the family league where I'm facing my brother's wife. So, hoping to stay alive, and at least one of them or both would be good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah, we're all rooting for you. We were talking about it earlier when we were trying to set up this episode, which seems to have it's definitely taken more than days. But yeah, in the beginning of this, mostly
Yeah,
due to my mishaps. But yeah, basically we were talking about how Billy could win his 4th championship, and we're all rooting for Scott.
Well,
Don't
thank you. I
know, fuck
appreciate it,
hoping
guys.
that you take it all.
Yep. And I'm hoping to play Marvelous again.
Oh shit! You might have just answered one of the questions we have for you.
Top 2 teams. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Like, I guess we could just cut that one later. Like, we were gonna wonder, who you would rather play, Mike, which is a good friend of yours, or Marvelous, who is just a solid team that you beat.
Yeah.
Once.
Well, I mean, it would be
end
nice.
of the day,
It would be nice to beat
Longfellow
Mike.
scored the most points last week, so got to see how they do this week. But Mike is no pushover, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, it would be nice to play Mike and beat him, because then I would actually see him and be like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And he'll
might have to go.
Heard about it too, I'm sure. He'll be like,
Oh yeah.
you're buying lunch, man. So Scott,
all right,
we'll
so
get right into it.
yeah, go ahead.
I think
Kick
we were
us
going
off.
to say the same thing. Go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, kick us off.
Oh, okay, all right. So Scott, we all are dying to know, where you were born, where did you grow up, where do you live now? Some of us have no idea. I know, but others don't. So let us know. What's up about yourself?
All right. I was born in Atlanta. So, actually Grady Memorial Hospital, downtown Atlanta.
Awesome.
I spent probably till I was like 5 in that area. And, my dad passed away and my mom remarried. So from that point on, we went to Connecticut for 4 years, to Georgia for 4 years, to Connecticut for 4 years, to Georgia for 4 years. And they did their thing, which was not very good on my life, but things happen. And at the age of 13, we moved up here. At 17, again 4 years, my mom wanted to move back, and I decided to stay. I finished high school at Platt Tech, which is a technical school in Milford, Connecticut. Joined the military for 3 years. Went to Europe for 2 of those years. Had the time of my life, y'all. I could tell you some stories from you going there. It was an amazing time.
I would
Came back to the
love to hear
States.
some of those.
Yeah. Came back to the States for a year in the military. Got out. Was a carpenter for 10 years. Came back to Connecticut. Been a machinist since then. And I have a house in Ansonia, Connecticut.
Awesome, man. Damn, that's quite the story. You definitely brought us through. That's pretty amazing. I didn't actually know all of that. So it's pretty awesome. I mean, I'm one that's moved many times in my childhood, so I know how it definitely is like weighs on you, especially because you're moving your friends, you're leaving your friends, you don't have old friends. You know what I mean? It's kind of tough as a kid, but you seem to have worked it out and seem to be doing pretty damn well for yourself. And kudos to you, man. And thanks for your service as well, man. We appreciate that.
Oh yeah, thank you. You're welcome, man. I mean, that's my life in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying? Like, and honestly, I've never said that to anybody. Like I've been thinking about it since we were talking about the interview, but that was right off the top of my head. This is a nutshell of my life. That's like the quick version of my life. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome, man. You really laid it out very nicely. So I'm glad that we just let you run with it and didn't interrupt, because I talk a lot, and Pascal and I love to talk when our guests are talking. We do it all the time.
Oh, I know.
Very very cool, man. Yeah, definitely didn't know a lot of that. So Georgia, Pascal's got some.
But yeah, now if y'all have any questions.
Yeah, I don't know if you picked it up on the last episode, but Trey and I met in Atlanta. when we were in college.
At Morehouse.
So we were there for. That's right. That's
So
right. So we were
I have
there for about 4 years.
Okay, so I actually have a story. Well, not really a story because I don't remember all of the details. But when I was a carpenter in Georgia, I actually did work at Morehouse
Oh, dope.
at the college. Yeah, we actually went to the college for like 2 weeks and did some work on one of the dorms or something like that. I don't like an
So
office.
we
Or
might
something.
have
I don't remember
crossed
what it was, but yeah, maybe.
When
You
was
may
that?
have-
I don't know though. I think
When
it
was
would have
that?
been like, let's see. I got out of the military in 2000, so probably like 2003, 2002, somewhere around there.
Yeah, we were there from '02 to '06, so we were definitely there. We probably crossed paths. It's funny how that goes.
You know,
Yeah.
you may have framed Pascal's sex dungeon back in college.
Oh man, yeah, that sounds very not likely.
Yeah, nah.
All right, so moving along. So Scott, when's your birthday?
July 12th.
Oh, my daughter's July 15th.
Oh, no shit. My sister's is July 11th.
Oh wow. All these cancers.
Yep.
Really good people.
July, it's like the best month of the year, man.
It
Smack
really
a birthday
is.
right in the middle of it. There's no holidays. Well, 4th of July, of course.
Well,
is a
see, the
great
thing that
holiday.
sucks
Yeah,
though
but-
is that everyone tends to be gone for your birthday. It's so tough to get like all her people at her birthday parties.
Yeah,
that's
true,
Yeah.
but that time of the
Mine
year,
falls
you can
around
do pretty much
Memorial
anything
Day
you
every
want, and
year.
it doesn't matter. Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so I know that. I know that. Feel you. People are always doing things, but it's all about what you do. Scott, did you have
That's
any
it, man.
nicknames growing up or anything like that? Any or recently, like any nicknames that stuck?
Scotty. That's it.
Scotty Too Hottie.
Yeah, that one. I definitely heard that one. My cousin has called me Scottie Pippen for ever since Scottie Pippen was playing football or basketball. Sorry, but I think she's saying Pimpin, not Pippin.
Pimpin'.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. That's a cool one.
Yeah, but and I'm talking about
Even
since
Scottie
she was
Pippen's a good
little.
one.
Yeah. I've been
man.
called. I was once called Chinese Pimpin' Gumby.
That's great.
Was that like your tag name in the late '90s or what?
No. So quick story, right? Quick story. I'm hanging out with Jim Harrington. Some of y'all know him.
Yeah.
And we're in like 8th grade, like 9th grade, right? And we're walking around Woodmont area of Milford, right? And we're fucking high as shit, right? And at that time, I dressed like to the T. Everything I wore was the same color. Like I had green shoes on, I had green pants on, I had a green long sleeve shirt on because it was chilly out, right? So we're walking around and we're having fun, we're stoned, and he's and I can't remember what he said, but he said something. And it made me like, I don't know, you know, like you get stiff and you walk like a limp with your hands on your balls, like. And I was saying, he just came out. He started laughing and he was like, Chinese Pimpin' Gumby. But I was like in 9th grade wearing all green, and this was like in the middle of the street, and I'm like limping, holding my nuts, walking in circles, and it just like, I don't know, it came out, man. That was probably the best thing I've ever been called.
That's
In live
a funny
time.
one, dude.
It looks like Tank Dell might have a knee injury on a touchdown catch.
Uh-oh.
Oof.
Oh damn, man. No. What about Joe Mixon? Well, let's talk about that later.
Yeah, rough. I have to say that that's probably one of the best nicknames I've ever heard, and you should have stuck with that through the rest of your life.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So Gumby. Did you ever
shit,
play
there we go.
football in high school or college?
I did
Well,
not
I
play in high school.
Yeah, not college.
The only college I attended, I did go to the advanced manufacturing at Housatonic. That's like a certificate program, but that was so I could get back into manufacturing.
Uh-huh.
But
Did you ever
no,
play like
not in high
pickup
school.
or what about
Oh,
the
yeah.
military? Like,
Oh yeah, no, we played in the military. I played with friends. No pads in the middle of the snow,
Oh yeah, those
Full
are
contact?
killing each other. Full
Oh yeah,
contact.
little kids. We could play full contact as little kids. Some people would get injured, but very rarely. Not like now. I feel like if we played a game, there'd be at least 2 designated IR bench spots, like literal bench spots on the side of the park.
oh, I think that we would get
Man.
hurt playing two-hand touch. So
I remember
think so,
playing. I remember playing when I was in the military. No pads, full contact, slamming each other to the ground in the cold. Like this one dude was like
love it.
6'5", 300 pounds. I ran up behind him and like jumped and grabbed his neck and he fell. And that's how he didn't get a touchdown. Like, yeah, no, when we played, man. And I mean, I was
That's
like
awesome.
21, 22.
yeah.
People would walk away hurting. And the next morning we'd go to the medical place and get checked out, and we'd go back over there and go to work.
Nice.
Tell him
What
you
branch
fell
did
or
you say
something.
you were in?
I was in the Army.
Okay. Nice.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I was stationed in Germany. So from there, everything's a drive from there, man. You get in the car, it takes you 6 hours to get to Amsterdam from where I was at.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to hear Pascal's German accent earlier in the season when he read some of the because of the game in Germany? He sounded like a Jamaican, like German turned into Jamaican real fast.
I did not hear it, but I bet it was good.
It was,
Yeah,
it was
for
good.
sure.
I'll have to like find the time and episode so you could just go directly to it, so you don't have to like sift through the hours, days of episodes we've had so far.
Yeah, Scott, don't worry, you're not missing anything.
Like I said, though, I just popped my headphones in and just went about doing my day, listening to y'all talk about football.
Yo, CJ Stroud is like crying.
Crying?
He's like full on tears over this injury.
Oh, it's like
Wow.
that bad?
Well, I mean, it's a knee injury. It's not like he broke his
I mean, is
neck
he
or
still
anything.
down?
Yeah, he's still down.
Oh, okay. It's one of the
No,
long
it-
injuries, like multi-commercial break injuries. Damn.
Yep,
So-
here's the second commercial break. Here we go.
Tank Dell so far has had an amazing game today, finally, too. So anybody who played him in the fantasy playoffs, like, at least got a good day out of him.
Got
but
their point.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who's got him? Does Aggie have him?
I forgot who has him because he sucks so bad. So, you don't have him, right, Scott?
Nope.
You don't think so, right? No. Yeah, it must
No,
be Aggie.
I don't have it.
And, it's Aggie or not Sean. I don't know. Frank, maybe?
I don't have anybody playing right now.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. So, shame on us. Scott, what's your favorite NFL football team? Most of us know this, but let's is there a story like why is it your favorite team?
The 49ers, and I started in the 80s is when I started paying attention to football. So,
Okay.
I'm like 6 years old, and who's winning in the 80s? Niners were dominating, man.
Oh,
They
yeah,
were the
for sure.
team in the 80s and early 90s. Like, they were the team.
I'm glad.
Who
you
else
didn't,
am I going to like at that age? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm glad you didn't gravitate to Dallas or Miami in that time.
nah, nope. There was just something
Oh,
about
yeah.
the 49ers, man. I mean, I can't tell you what it is, but
That's
I've been a Niners fan as long as I can remember.
That's awesome.
I
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
remember watching Joe Montana play and being like, damn, this dude's good.
Wow.
And in my mind, nobody else could touch him. Because I started watching them
Yeah.
at that age. You know what I'm saying? I was young, impressionable, and the 49ers were the team. So they've been the team.
Oh yeah, you had your starter jacket and stuff.
No. No,
No,
like I told
no
you, we
starter
moved
jacket.
a lot. Well, like I told you, we moved a lot, and there were reasons we moved a lot. Like we kind of had to move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My parents did some shit that they shouldn't have been doing, and we had to move. So no, I ain't got no. I did not have a starter jacket. I was lucky I had a jacket. Period. You know what I'm saying? It definitely wasn't
Yeah,
a
I was
starter.
never one of those. I was never one of those starter jacket kids either. I was,
Nope.
I was happy with my LL being at the most.
Yeah, it didn't matter to me, man, as long as I had a jacket. So,
Lord.
just for an example, I was one of 3 white kids that rode the bus pretty much everywhere I lived until I left.
Good. It's nice to live in a different different range of different places. Like I grew up in all over the place in Connecticut, but mostly like schooled in Bridgeport, and we went to high school in Fairfield, and it's just the town next door, but it was a totally different ball game. Like really different in a lot of respects. Like just because of like
I loved how I grew up, like what my life was like as a kid, away from my house. You know what I'm saying? Like
teaches you a lot
that
of
was the
values
best.
and shit,
Oh, that was the best part of my life as a kid. The people that I grew up around was the best part of my life as a kid. That made the best impression to me because I was never at home. I mean, y'all know the things about Gen X and never being at home and like your kids know where your kids are. That shit was real.
Yeah.
Like I got up in the morning and if it wasn't school, I left. And I went and I hung out and I played and I got to know people. And the people that I interacted with where I lived was the best part of my life.
The regular
Everywhere I
Davy
lived.
Crockett.
It didn't matter. It was like, huh? A regular what?
No, wait, is it Davy Crockett or is it no? What's the kid that wears the raccoon hat and he's like always outside adventuring? That's not Davy Crockett, is it? No, it's not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Damn.
no, I'm not sure.
I thought the raccoon hat might ring a bell, but he wears a hat with a raccoon tail.
Yeah, I can
think
kind of
I don't know,
picture it,
man.
but I don't really
That's
know.
a kid.
Yeah.
That's a kid.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
kid.
not sure, but yeah.
Yeah, he was just like adventurous. He like was always up and down the river and like just looking.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Anyways,
Tom Sawyer.
Wait, who is it? Johnny Appleseed?
No, you're talking about Davy Crockett. That's what the internet is saying at least.
It is Davy Crockett. So I guess maybe I'm just maybe I was just watching a different channel or some shit.
Yeah, it sounds like
Yeah,
you're
but no,
like
I was
7 years old, honestly.
But no, I was
What's
that
that?
explorer, like what you're talking about, the explorer. Like I literally left the house as soon as I got up, and I was eating I wasn't even eating at my house. Friends would be like, "Hey man, come over and eat," and their parents were like, "Yeah," you know what I'm saying? Everybody took care of each other. I loved it.
That's cool, man.
But yeah, I was gone, and then once it got dark, I'd start making my way home. When the street lights come on is when you go home.
Yeah, life was nice back then.
I remember that.
I
Yeah.
don't know. These kids, they're inside playing video games all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glued to the tablet.
All right, so the 49ers are your favorite team. Who is your least favorite team?
The Chiefs.
Not mad at that.
What was it? The Patriots
Whoever.
for like 10 years or so? Like, is it whoever's
Yep.
like dominating? All right, cool.
Yep.
So the Seahawks for like 2 years, the Patriots. For
Yeah,
like
yeah.
15.
Whoever's dominating is the team I don't like.
Did you not like the
I can
Giants
respect
in
that.
that like 4-year window where they won twice?
No, don't you? I think you might have been at the house when we had the 49ers play the Giants.
Oh my God! In the playoffs that year, where the
Yep.
is that? Yeah, that's.
Of course I hated them. They were winning, and the 49ers won. That's all it took.
That is a true fan.
Whatever team was winning, and it wasn't the 49ers, that's the team I didn't like.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is a true
That's
fan.
how fandom should be.
Pascal also shows true fandomship, if you will, by watching every Patriots game from front to back, even though I think they have, 2 wins, 3 wins, 4 maybe, 3?
At 3 right now, yeah.
And listening to the analysis on them and like the beat reporters, it's great, Like I kind of like shy away from the Giants like in-depth information when they suck, which has been a lot lately, and just replace it with fantasy and just overfill my brain with fantasy. So, but the Giants are more important, in my opinion, in my life. So
honestly, guys, I don't even pay that. I don't even pay that much attention to football.
You weren't? No, you weren't? Or you, like what?
Is
now?
that because
don't.
of life or just because the 49ers aren't that good?
Just because the 49ers aren't winning. Honestly. When they're winning, I pay more attention to football. When they're not winning, I don't really pay that much attention. I'm like, fuck it, who cares?
That's awesome.
I saw a lot of winning, so I got time for a bad Patriots team right now.
Yeah, a decade.
Yeah, right.
Yo, Scott.
Yeah, it was nice.
Who's your biggest fantasy rival?
It changes week to week, honestly. Whoever I'm playing.
Whoever you're playing?
That's it. That's it.
I love it.
Okay.
I got no ill will against none of y'all, no matter what has happened, been said, none of that bullshit. None. It don't matter. It just comes down to who I'm playing at the time. Right now, it's Billy D. And you know what, Billy D, I'm sorry, I love you, but fuck you, man. Going down, talking about I'm going to win anyway. Come on now, man.
I like how you go about this. I really do. Like, I like your sports fandom. I like how you go about who your biggest rivals in fantasy are. I got a lot of respect for that.
I mean, dude, it's like I didn't have the best life growing up, y'all, but I loved my life outside of my house. I really did. My parents put me in some places that most people shouldn't have to be in. You know what I'm saying? But the experience that I got from that helped me grow into the person I am and gave me more of an appreciation than most people have for anything. So that's why I am the way I am. I'm a straight up, honest, no bullshit, I'm not going to lie to you, even if it hurts kind of guy. That's it.
Listen, pressure creates diamonds, right? Like, having a tough
That's
life
it, brother.
is not what you want for your children, but making it through it makes you a much more resilient adult.
Yeah. And it makes you work harder so that your children don't have to go through that. That's how I ended up going back to school.
Nice.
So.
Respect.
All right, so back to fantasy. If you could have any one player in the league on your team, who would it be?
I don't even know, man. Honestly. Like I told you, I don't pay that much attention to football. If it was anybody, it would be somebody from the 49ers. I can tell you that right now. Kittle. Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a good choice. I was thinking maybe like Jawan Jennings or like Christian McCaffrey, but he's out for, I don't know how long.
He's out, and Jawan is good, but Kittle has that energy.
Yeah.
And it might just be because Jawan's just new to it. Jennings really hasn't gotten his footing into the NFL yet, but he'll have his too. You know what I'm saying? But right now, Kittle has that energy, and honestly, I think he pushes other people to be better. Just because he wants to be better. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wants to be better, and that just other people are like, I think I should be doing better.
Well, football players tend to be competitive, and so if they see one of their teammates working hard, always in the like, what do they call it? Like in the weight room early, doing extra work, then it makes them be like, well, maybe I need to work harder. So having that type of guy on your team, it really has an effect on the other 53 guys in the locker room.
Yeah. It also reminds me of Tom Shine a little bit, like a wild ass,
I can so see that, dude. With the fucking straggly hair and the straggly beard, I can fucking see that shit. Oh my god, dude. I never saw that until you just said, no, man, never. And you said, as soon as you said that, I was like, oh my god, Tom is playing for the 49ers.
That's perfect.
Oh.
Thank you.
All right,
That is so funny.
We're going to get this thing moving a little bit faster. We're going to get into the quick fire section. And so we always start this out with our start, bench, cut, where you got to start one player or one option, you got to bench one option, and you got to cut one option. So for this one, we're going to assume that everyone's healthy and in their prime. And so yeah, let's get it going.
Let's get it cracking. Do you want to start or
first? Yeah, I'm going to start out.
Okay,
first one's first. We're going Ronnie Lott, Patrick Willis, and Fred Warner.
So what are the options again?
Start, bench, cut, and we've got Ronnie Lott, Patrick Willis, and Fred Warner.
I would start Fred Warner, cut the second guy, and sit Ronnie Lott.
Patrick Willis. Whoa, Patrick Willis is getting cut.
You got to keep
know who that dude
Lott
is.
at least on the bench. At least.
Yeah, that's why I said sit him. I know who that is.
Patrick Willis was the linebacker, the Hall of Fame linebacker from the early 2000s on the 49ers.
Okay.
And he was gnarly. He was.
Yeah.
You think he's Hall of Fame?
I think he's already in the
Famer?
Hall of Fame.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, if I remember,
All right,
If I remember, the Niners weren't doing too well that season. So around the early 2000s, I think they had what's his name, Kaepernick, or was what's his?
He was probably
what's the other guy's
when they
name?
went to the Super Bowl with Kaepernick.
Oh yeah, Alex Smith, right? His name Alex
Yep.
Smith, or was he?
Yep,
he was
Alex
on the-
Smith.
Man, that leg.
Okay.
Oh, let's not talk about that leg.
Oh my god.
It's so crazy. Here's the more familiar names. Frank Gore, Christian McCaffrey, Roger Craig. Start, bench, cut.
McCaffrey's gone. Start Gore and shit. What's the other guy's name?
Roger Craig.
Roger Craig. Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
He can be the backup.
heard you.
But Christian's gone.
I'll let
Like I said, nope. It's just those three. You're out, brother. Sorry.
Damn, Longfellow's probably appalled right now.
All right, so start, bench, cut these three scenarios. Aldon Smith never got in trouble. T.O. never left. Colin Kaepernick never kneeled.
Sit Kaepernick. Because I understand, but to a lot of people, it was really disrespectful. What were the other two options?
Aldon Smith never got in trouble. You remember his crazy rookie season? He had 15 sacks in 12 games or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
And then he got in trouble, and then he was never the same after. He got suspended for a season or two. And then the other one is, I think he beat his girlfriend or something. It was something along those lines, I think.
Some Ray Rice shit. Not cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, right.
And then the other one is Terrell Owens never left. He was he would be a 49er.
Yeah. No, I knew who Terrell Owens is. I would keep Terrell and get rid of the other guy.
Heard you. Nice.
Yeah. I mean, you said he beat his girlfriend or something like that?
I think so. I'm not 100%. This was, almost 20 years ago at this point, but I think it was something like that. Or threw her on a pile of guns on the bed. I think it was something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So if
Yeah.
it involved this dude doing some shit to a woman, that dude's fucking gone. He's lucky he don't get his ass beat on the way out.
I'm sure he did.
I don't know.
Even
he's
though
a
he was
big
like a
motherfucker.
monster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, a 2x4 does a lot of work.
All right, Scott.
I'm an
something-
ex-carpenter, man.
That's true. There's, weapons, supersede strength. So something you're a little more familiar with. I'm curious to know: frisbee golf, shooting pool, or fishing.
Shooting pool would be start. Disc golf would be sit, and I'd get rid of fishing.
Sorry, did I say frisbee golf? I meant disc golf.
Disc golf, yeah. No, you probably said disc
Wait,
golf.
You would cut fishing?
Yeah. I don't fish.
All right, cool. Oh, you don't fish? Oh, shit.
No. Yeah, no, I don't fish.
I guess just like Longfellow and Tom, like fished
Oh,
so
yeah.
much that I thought you fished with them. I didn't know that.
No,
I know you disc
Jim
golf.
fished with them.
Oh, Jim does. Oh, shit. All right, cool. And Placco?
Yeah.
Or is Placco fish with them a lot?
He doesn't do anything anymore, man. Now he's got two kids.
Homebody? He's got the
He's got two kids, man. Yeah, he's got like a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old, and
Yeah.
he's almost 3. So, yeah.
Wow.
All right. So real quick, let me clear the air on Alden Smith. I don't see anything about beating any women. It looks like it was DUI, weed possession, gun possession, stuff like that. So let me not put bad air about that.
Okay.
Because it looks like
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can tackle. Go
In
ahead.
that case, I might have kept him.
right? We don't want guys getting in trouble for guns. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, like dude was living
Kind
his
of in the
life. He was
Constitution.
stupid, but he was living his life.
right. And definitely not for smoking weed. Like no one should be getting in trouble
Right.
for smoking weed. So
Hell no.
all right. So I think it looks like Brendan skipped one, so I'm gonna go back one and pizza, tacos, or
Oh.
chicken wings.
Pizza start, chicken wings sit, tacos can go.
What?
All right.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
I'm not mad at that.
I could never let tacos go.
I mean,
He's American. He's American through and through.
I sure am.
What are
I'll
these
tell you what. What the hell's a street taco? Don't look like a street to me.
There's no ground beef in this taco. So, all right.
Carne what is that?
All right. Next, we've got indoor, outdoor, hydroponic.
Indoor can go, hydroponics can sit, outdoor start.
Yes, sir.
Just because that's what I do.
Well, but
That's the order I
outdoor
would use it in.
that gives you the best. That gives you the best of the three to me. Like the other two are too concocted. Doesn't give you a natural high.
Yeah.
Toxic high.
Yep. Outdoor all
All
day
right,
long.
and then lastly for the quick
Just
fire,
like you're
or
growing
for the
up.
start bench cut.
Outdoor.
That's right, outdoor all day long. All right, so lastly, gin, whiskey, tequila.
Whiskey start, tequila sit, and gin can go.
All right.
Gin
think-
can go. Yeah, gin is nasty.
And I would
gin
prefer
is
to be-
gotta have good gin.
I would prefer to be a bourbon whiskey.
Okay.
Nice.
See, that was going to be that was my other thought was like bourbon, scotch, and then I didn't have a third one, but
Then he would be biased. He would of course go Scotch because it sounds mostly like his name.
Nah, still bourbon.
He
Hi,
just
I'm
said
Scotch.
bourbon.
Although,
No, I-
so it would have still been bourbon, but good. There are some really good Scotch whiskeys, though.
He would sit
Oh, no doubt.
on the shelf for later. All right,
Yep.
man. Next question: Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins? Just in general.
Who would you rather, like, who do you think? And it's got to be right now, because obviously Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers,
okay. I was
you're
just
talking
about to
in their
ask that
prime.
question. Yeah,
No,
I was
no,
just
no,
about
right
to ask
now.
that. Okay.
Who you taking?
Before this past weekend, how about that?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Cousins
Okay,
star
so-
dropped heavy.
Oh, yeah. No, real hard. I don't know. I think I would still pick Rodgers, even not including this weekend. I mean, this
Yeah.
weekend, Rodgers did phenomenal with Devontae, but that was insane. But, yeah.
If you're
So you
going
would
into
pick
next
Cousins
season. Nah,
Do
you said
what?
Rodgers.
Yeah, Rodgers.
Rodgers, okay.
Yeah.
The cheese head, the original cheese.
Yeah. The experience, what he's done. I mean, you can't take that
No,
away
it
from
makes
him.
sense.
Even with the team he's at now and what he's, except for this past weekend, you know what I'm saying? Like, you still can't
Yeah.
take away that experience and that ability to do what he did.
I mean, he actually had a great weekend this past weekend. But Kirk just didn't. But I gotta say, Kirk Cousins owns my respect, because when he was on Washington, he played in a Pro Bowl game, and I know that's like the worst game to even watch or turn on. Like, nobody watches the Pro Bowl. But he threw an interception, or matter of fact, I think, yeah, he threw a pick at like the 2-yard line, and he chased this dude all the way down to the other 2-yard line and forced the fumble. And the other team ended up recovering and everything, but it was just like such a badass play for a quarterback to do. And I was like, yo, he's that dude. And he's had a pretty good career since, so got to respect him. And Rodgers,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, like I said in the chat, I feel like Kirk Cousins has played free agency better than maybe any other quarterback ever.
Oh, yeah. The big money man, dude. We're in the chain.
Well, like,
on the plane.
well, getting guaranteed contracts, like, he was the first one getting his whole contract fully guaranteed. So,
Yeah.
kudos to him.
Yeah, he shook things
Yeah.
up. For
Smart
sure.
move.
Yeah.
Very
Could have been
smart.
lazy
Alright,
like a lot of the other guaranteed contract players that just like lose incentive to like be a beast. I don't understand that shit, but anyways. Moving on, my bad.
I mean, I kind of do. You're playing a game that tears up your body, tears up your mind, and you just got $50 million guaranteed. Like,
Yeah, but more respect to the ones that are after their own legacy, that want
Definitely,
their numbers to
definitely.
look good and don't want to look like an
More
asshole
respect.
that just took money,
more respect, but whatever. Like, I fully
Whatever.
understand it. Yeah, no, like,
All right.
listen, more respect to the other guys, but I understand it. I get it. And I think one of the things that a lot of fans don't understand is that half the league doesn't love football like that. They're just talented enough to make money doing it. And so it's like, yeah, those guys, they're not motivated for their legacy. They're motivated to get a paycheck because it's their job to them.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
No,
I don't know though.
in the
I've
NFL.
always been the type of person that believes that if they're paying you that kind of money, then you earn your money. And I mean, they are earning their money playing a game, but I mean, don't half-ass it.
Exactly. You should.
Yeah, I mean-
that's your job. That's your career. And it's not like you're doing it behind a desk in a cubicle that nobody's gonna see. Like, I don't understand how you could just be like like an obvious crazy bum. Like a lot of NBA stars, they get these big contracts. Like Ben Simmons, dude, he is just he doesn't play, he doesn't practice, he's whack, and he's a great player, but I don't know what's wrong with him. It's just like, anyways, moving on from that, because that just got me annoyed.
Brendan's jealous. All right. So, Scott, who's your go-to for fantasy football information?
I don't really even have one. Honestly, I look at my team. So, like for the draft, I don't do any kind of mock drafts. I don't do any research. I don't do anything. When it's my turn, I look at who's available. I look at who I have, and I say, well, this is the top running back right now, and I need a running back. Let me get this guy. That's how I do the fantasy, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much how I do the draft. As far as playing fantasy, I look at like who I'm going to start and who I'm not going to start. When I look at my team, I look at who they're playing, and I think you might have mentioned something about this in the chat, Pascal, that the amount of points that the team they're giving to that position, if one of the people on the bench has a greater value, I'll put them there, regardless of how many points it says that they're going to get. You know what I'm saying? If I see that there's a chance that the defense gives more to this specific position and they're playing them, I'll start them. That's how I figure out my lineup week to week.
Hey, man, it has been working great for you so far this year.
Yeah, that's a smart way to do
Thank
it
you.
since you've been in first place for several weeks, you know?
I mean, but honestly, I believe it's all luck, man. It's all any given Sunday.
That's true. Yeah.
Don't tell
Like,
Billy
what
that.
makes
when was the last time Adams got 45 points in a game?
Yeah.
2-3 years ago, maybe?
When's it going to happen again? This week was a fucking fluke, man.
Hopefully
Honestly,
not.
I mean,
that could be.
I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, when's it going to happen again?
There's probably more of a chance that he never puts up those numbers again than there is a chance that he does. I mean, at his age, getting 200 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
There's an interesting stat, though, that you have to look at the end of every season when you look at, like, big players. And it takes a lot of deep diving, and I don't even know where to get this in. But, sorry, you guys there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad. My headphones inside. I got to switch to the left side now. It went. All right, let's try the left side. Not working. Awesome.
Now, we can hear you, so you can go ahead and finish your thought while you're trying to figure it out.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
right.
Yeah, I'll figure that out. All right, that's cool. But yeah, where were we? I'm so sorry. Oh yeah, the stat. You a lot of players have like incentive-ridden contracts where if you hit certain numbers, then you'll get like big bonuses. Like we discussed on the podcast this week, there's Mike Evans needs like 14 or 15 more catches, like 250 and change yards, and 1 more touchdown in the next 3 games, and he gets $3 million extra. So like, of course, you know Mike Williams is going to ball out for the rest of the year, right?
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans, yeah, I'm sorry. Mike Williams, not so much. But yeah, it's an interesting stat to look at. There's a lot of, dude, you could look so deeply into this and really kind of give yourself a little bit of an advantage, but you never know who's going to go out there and, you know, leave injured or go out there and their team's going to get steamrolled, so your running back's just not going to see the field, you know? So it really is any given Sunday. I do agree with that heavily, but there is a little bit of something you could do, like, you know, listening to our podcast or something, you know, something like that.
If it weren't so long. I'm just messing with you.
No, it's cool. This one's going to be probably just as fun. Oh, shit. That's great.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, honestly, I saw y'all were interviewing Marvellis, and that's why I listened, so I could learn how to say his name right. Because every time I looked at it, I was like, every time I looked at it, I was like, that's marvelous. That's marvelous. Am I reading this wrong?
You know, that's so true. I actually learned that officially this time because he probably told me that when we like hung out, one of the few times we hung out, and I was like, you know, we were drinking and stuff, so it went in one ear and out the other into my dead headphone. So, I'm glad that he clarified that for everyone, so we don't have a bunch of people calling him Marv and Marv. I'm gonna do the
and
Marv
that shit was
meme.
funny as hell. That shit was funny as hell. I had to stop listening for a minute because I couldn't hear anymore. I was laughing.
That's great. Shoot. So, are we? Where are we now? Oh, it's
All
my
right.
turn.
So yes, it is.
So Scott, I think we all know the
I
answer. to
swear,
this.
Scott. I swear we've done this before. This is not our first time.
Right? It's like your 16th.
Yeah.
Just about. I'll give Brendan a little bit of grace. This is like our eighth interview.
Sixth interview, 6 or 7.
Okay.
But we should be more on it. I'm on the move and bouncing around, so I'm trying my best to keep things together. That's why my whole headphone. Otherwise, I'd just be
damn!
chilling,
Did y'all realize that the Christmas Day games are on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I keep seeing Lamar Jackson standing next to freaking. I think it's T.J. Watt that they're showing. It's why are they showing? Isn't he injured? Why are they showing T.J. Watt? Anyways, he's great. But yeah, Scott, who in our league do you enjoy beating the most? If it's not each week, who do you get that extra bit of satisfaction when you get the win at the end of the week and you're like,
whoever's in first
maybe not
place.
so cynical. Whoever's in first?
Yep.
Okay.
That's
all
the
right.
one, if, you know what I'm saying? Because usually they're, unbeaten but they've only been beaten one time. And, you know what I'm saying? No matter where I'm at in the rankings, if I beat the person that's in first place, that's the best victory to me.
You got a chance to do that this year at least once with Marv, right?
Yeah.
Marvelous. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons I want to play him again. Because we've had that, and I've beat him that time.
Oh,
so it'll
man.
be a rematch.
That'll be a great matchup. I really hope it's
of one of the.
Sorry, Longfellow Bill.
Yeah, and I mean it'll be one of the few losses that he's had, and if I can give him another one, that'd be even better.
Yeah, that would be sweet for sure.
Yeah, then he'll be your rival next season.
But like I said, it would be really nice to beat Mike though. Because I didn't after it was over, I'd be like, "Hey, Mike, let's smoke."
You're packing.
Yep.
If you guys are playing each other in the championship, then you gotta watch that. You gotta watch those games together.
Yeah, right. We should. I'll have him come over to my house. I can't go to his. He lives with his mom still.
Word.
You could still,
I love Mike.
You might get pissed off you guys getting wasted and high, yelling about fantasy football.
Right? Nah, he won't be able to come over because his leg is messed up.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, him and Jay should just be wheeling each other around, just hanging out. We should set up set up hospital beds next to each other so they could spend time together with their bum knees, man. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I feel like they always have a brace on their leg. It's crazy. Both of those dudes. I don't know who's more glassy.
Yeah, right.
All right, so Scott, who is your rookie of the year pick? You can pick offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, both, whatever you're more knowledgeable about.
I wouldn't have a clue on either one of them, man. Honestly,
No?
Thank you.
I couldn't even tell you who's being even considered for rookie of the year.
We'll give you a couple names, and you just tell us which one sticks out to you the most. How about Brock Bowers, Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison, Brian Thomas, Caleb Williams,
What?
Jaden Daniels.
Why are you giving them 20 names?
Bo Nix. I'm just trying to.
Was it Malik Harris? You said.
No.
Yeah, dude. Like first of all, I suck with names, and you're just like bam, 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 bam. And I'm like, dude, Fred, John, Jr., Francis, Coppola, that guy.
That's why I'm like, he's naming guys that have no chance at the award. Like,
Spencer Rattler.
Malik Neighbors is the one that I heard that I know has been doing well. Malik Neighbors, right?
Yeah, this is who you got to pick between, because Brendan sucks at this. You got Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, or Brock Bowers.
Or
I'm not asking you, Brendan.
Brian Thomas or Marvin Harrison or Malik Neighbors.
Shut up. No.
So I know Bo Nix is a quarterback, right? What do the other two do? I mean, I've heard the names, but I don't.
Quarterback. Jaden Daniels is the quarterback that Aggie's been starting all year.
Watching the Commanders quarterback.
Oh, the Commanders. Okay.
Yeah, and then Bo Nix.
And then Brock what?
Brock Bowers is the tight end that Colin has been starting all year from the Raiders.
Huh. Probably Bo Nix.
He's nasty.
Okay, Bo Nix.
Yeah.
It's not a bad pick. Especially because it's the least amount of syllables.
What the fuck?
It's just
straight up. Brendan just says whatever comes to his head.
Sorry, sorry for
this has actually been a lot of fun, guys.
What about the Super Bowl, my brother? What about Super Bowl pick? Who you got? Who's winning it?
I would really like to see Detroit win.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's all of it.
I would really like to see them win, but I think it's going to be Josh Allen, Buffalo.
Awesome. You think they'll play each other? You think it'll be Detroit-Buffalo?
That would be awesome, but I think Detroit will lose. I think if those two play, yeah.
Yeah,
as long as the Chiefs don't make it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that shit. Yeah. But the Bills and the Bills
I don't think anyone outside of Missouri wants the Chiefs to win.
Kerry's a Chiefs fan. Weird. I think it's because it's his initials, KC.
That's a great reason.
I can so see that.
He always hated football. He's like, yeah, whatever, and never really cared to play or anything. And he just liked a lot of random teams, you know?
Which is crazy because Kerry has, he's got, a Billy build. Both of them, I feel like, were made to play football.
Yeah, Kerry's a freaking big dude, man. Freaking tall and, a big rectangle. So he would have been a great tight end.
And strong as hell. Nah, he would have been a good, defensive end or, offensive tackle.
Oh, my God. Either or.
Yeah.
Well.
All right, so back to the question, Scott. Who would you rather win a championship? You got, you pick either or, the 49ers or the MILF fuckers?
The MILF fuckers.
Nice.
Good man.
That puts money in my pocket. Shit. You know what I'm saying? If it comes to putting money in my pocket or putting money in somebody else's pocket, you better believe it's going to be my pocket every single time.
Yeah,
damn right.
Respect to that. That's funny. All right. Well, besides the NFL, out of all other sports, what are some of your other favorite teams?
I'm a Knicks fan.
Sweet.
I was watching them back when Ewing was playing with his busted ass knees, wearing knee pads on both his knees.
Hell yeah, the flat top dominated.
Yep. I'm a Rangers fan and a Braves fan. And a Braves fan.
Okay.
I can understand that because they were dominant back in the 90s too.
Yeah.
And they've had their spells since, their ups and downs, but pretty good lately. So that's a lot of solid teams.
Yeah, I actually went to. We left high school. We skipped school to go to the ticker tape parade for the Knicks back then, or the Rangers back then. Sorry.
Awesome, dude.
Oh,
I love those stories. I when I worked at Enterprise Car Rental, the Giants parade was right down the street. I worked in the financial district, and I was like, man, fuck this. I just locked
Right.
the door, and I was at a satellite branch, so it was just me and another dude, and we just bounced and we went to the parade. And
Could anyone
it
rent
really-
any cars that day anyway? Like, wasn't it weren't all the roads shut down?
No, it was like a few blocks away, so we were still in like an active territory. Otherwise, we would have had to be up in the West Village, like way away from the parade at like the main branch with the boss and all that shit. So we got lucky. It was great.
Yeah, I've never been to any of the Patriots or Yankees, or I'm a Patriots, Yankees, Rangers fan. Never been to any of the ticker tapes.
It's kind of a mess usually. It's kind of a dangerous mess.
Yeah.
You see your brothers fighting and shit. It's like, why is Strahan fighting Shockey right now? Like, what the heck's going on? You know, two dudes in jerseys just throwing down, like, bloodied.
Yeah. All right, so we did that. So, Brenda, you want to do the next one?
Yeah. Is it if you beat Billy this week? No, we already
went over that. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah. All right. Scott, ready?
Yep.
Would you rather ski in a bathing suit or surf in full ski gear?
Ski in a bathing suit or surf in full ski gear?
Yes.
What the question is that, man?
What would you rather do? What would be more difficult for
Ski
you?
in a bathing suit.
I
So
feel
you
like
could
that's
get
an
in the
obvious
ocean. So you could get in the ocean with mad layers and swim out on a board and get up on a board and surf.
No.
No, he said ski in a bathing suit.
Yeah, ski in
Are you-
Yo,
Is your
you could
headphone
ask
working?
me the question. You ask me the question and then not listen to the answer. Like,
That's exactly what happened.
I thought you.
yeah,
I'm
you
sorry, I
asked me
thought
this
you
weird
said-
ass question and then you just listened to the response.
I'm sorry.
man.
I was so excited. I thought you said you couldn't ski in a bathing suit. But you
No,
No,
could
I would ski in a bathing suit.
Honestly,
Badass.
I should have thought about this beforehand, but there's really only one answer to this question, because surfing in ski gear, you're just going to drown because it's going to get waterlogged. And people actually do ski in bathing suits. So it's like, there's really only one answer to that one.
I would try it. I would try surfing in full ski gear.
And you would drown.
I just love those.
all the way to the bottom of the ocean. You would be
I love how you're so just a matter of fact about it, and you will drown. Go ahead, but you're drowning.
as a skier, I know what it feels like when my ski gear gets waterlogged, and yeah, you're done for. Like, sorry, buddy. All right, so next, would you rather get stranded on a desert island or lost in the woods?
Lost in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not want to be confined to an island,
Yeah.
especially if I was stranded.
Now-
You know what I'm saying? Like you just have that space. Now, if you're talking about like a massive island, then maybe an island, but that's pretty much the same thing. If it's as big of an island that's in my head, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Now,
pretty much,
let
if
me-
you
let
take
me
the
adjust it a
forest
little
and make it an island.
Let me adjust it a little bit. Would you rather get stranded on a desert island with your ex or lost in the woods with her mother?
Definitely on the island with my ex.
All right, so that changes things. Now, hear this. Would you rather get stranded on an island naked or lost in the woods with just a t-shirt?
Am I still with my ex?
No, you're alone.
No.
You're alone. But you're only wearing a T-shirt in the woods, dude. Like, that's...
Oh, but I'm alone in the woods.
You're barefoot.
I mean, dude, there's only so many supplies on an island.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get an even 10.
I'll make some leaf paints, man.
It'd be an even burn at that point.
All right, one more question. I think that's it, right? And then we're through.
Yeah. This is
All right,
the last
Scott, ready? Your final question. Do you Pascal? You want to ask? Or you want me to ask?
one. No, go for it.
All right, I love this question. Scott, how many kickers are you going to draft next season?
5.
Yeah, that's a heavy helping.
I can say this though, it's going to be tough for people to stream kickers next season, at the very least. Someone's going to have to make a trade with you. Because Scott has 5.
His first 5 picks, all the top 5 kickers,
Well,
and it's like, shit, man,
Scott-
I want tiny
Scott will
fair
have-
Baron.
Scott will have 5. Baba will have 2. Longfellow will have 2. Like, there's not going to be any more kickers to go around at a certain point.
So what
You're gonna have to
I do
draft
when
Hunter.
what I do when I'm drafting is I fill the first part of it, and then after that I'm like, okay, I need a backup. I need a backup. I need a backup kicker. I need a backup defense. Like, that's how I end up with 2 kickers and 2 defenses. And like, because I look at bye weeks and I'm like, okay, I'm going to need one. And I just, you know what I'm saying? Because then I can just, when it gets close, I can look and be like, okay, I can switch this player. You know what I'm saying? I can start switching and picking different defenses or whatever. But when I'm drafting, in my mind, it's like, all right, I have all these. I don't need a 4th wide receiver. I only have so many slots to fill. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so I get a second kicker. Like, that's how it goes in my head. Like, dude, you don't need a 5th running back. Just get another defense, and you're done drafting.
You should always stock the pond with running backs and receivers. But if you like that strategy, I mean, you're in first place, so I shouldn't be telling you. I should actually be taking notes.
If you like it, I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Don't change. You know,
No, I don't plan on it.
we all think it's beneficial to us, but it really is not. It really helps you. Do you?
Like Brendan said, you are in first place. Who are we to say anything about your strategy?
Exactly. Yo,
now next week y'all can talk it. Now if I lose, y'all can talk shit about me, but I don't think I'm losing.
You should have lost this past week, but one of us is a moron and makes stupid decisions with his lineup. And congratulations to you for not being that guy.
Are you a big Jameis Winston fan this week?
No. Nope.
No. Really? He should be your favorite player in the league.
Yeah, really. -0.36, was it?
I mean, I can't say anything to either one of you guys because when I asked both of you guys about using
Purdy?
Kirk Cousins or Brock Purdy, and I used Kirk Cousins, and he definitely was not the right pick. So, I mean, you're not the only one.
We both co-signed that move. We both co-signed Cousins over Purdy. So, I think that just shows you that we are not the people to ask for anything fantasy related. Like, we got the podcast, but that doesn't mean that it's worth anything.
That's funny. That's funny. Yo, on that note, Scott, please send us off with some words of wisdom or whatever you want to let your
please not
whatever
a poem.
you want. The mic is yours.
Just not a poem, all right? Do not give us like a 3-minute long poem that you found on Twitter earlier this week, please.
I don't watch enough Twitter, so my advice would be kind, smoke weed, enjoy life.
I love
That's
it.
y'all.
Thank you, Scott. Good
Yeah,
luck
brother.
this week.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man. I hope
Be good, y'all.
I hope you win.
Thank you. Be good,
All
y'all.
right. I respect your decision making, and I hope it brings you the trophy to your house, man. We'll deliver it. Billy's gonna deliver.
Hey, like I said, man, every week it's any given Sunday, man. It really is. I mean, Pascal, you could have put that dude on, and he didn't do anything. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? The defense might be tired. They might not be.
Yeah,
That's true.
Any given Sunday, y'all.
And any given Sunday, as long as Scott is given 2 more.
That's it. Hell yeah, brother.
All right, man. I hope
Be good,
he's
y'all.
wiring you some money soon, bro. We'll talk to you soon. All
Yeah,
right, brother?
me too. All right, brother. Peace.
All right, yeah. Later, man.
Peace.
You know, he gave us an impressive rundown on, you know, his life and where he's at now and how he got there. And thanks so much, Scott. You really did your homework prior to the interview, and we appreciate that.
It's
it
really
made for a
wild
great
to
interview.
me that there's a very good chance that we crossed paths
Oh yeah, that's right.
while I was at school.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny how the world works that way, you know?
You know, it is crazy that, you know, your sex dungeon in college may have been crafted.
Yeah.
by
I
Scott.
mean, it saw a lot of eyes, so it's not that surprising. But, you know, nonetheless.
and T's too, because you were dotting your I's and crossing your T's, writing a lot of papers in college. you
Of
know?
course. And my lowercase J's and my lowercase F's, they all got cross dotted.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love those lowercase F's.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, I think that kind of wraps up our interviews, our like structured interviews for the year. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a
I think we got
couple
some-
more of you.
I think we got some good ones.
Yeah, we do. We did. You know, we still have Aggie, Babalu, Sean, Frank.
Well, we need them to agree to them
Yeah.
and or get back to us. So
yeah, Aggie's the only one who we just didn't slot in. He agreed, but
oh, he did.
We'll do
Oh,
something
I thought,
in the
I
off
thought we
season.
didn't hear back from him.
No, we did.
My
we
bad,
did.
Aggie.
It was just bad timing because it was playoffs and he was
Yeah.
not looking too good after getting eliminated. So,
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, look, we're already after the championship, and we're just getting to the one we did 2 weeks ago.
I'm
so.
glad he won the third place game. I mean, what better time to put his interview out after his ridiculous third place performance?
I know, right? No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
So
Speaking of ridiculous performances,
oh my god,
yo, did you see that game last night?
oh, that was such a good game.
Yeah. What? Hold on. What day is it?
Wait,
It's Monday, right?
oh yeah,
Yeah. Jeez, yo.
the Vikings Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Impressive game. The final score doesn't really the final score doesn't really lay out what actually happened. It looks like the Lions blew the Vikings out, which I called.
Well, they did at the end, which is what good teams do.
Yeah.
They step on your neck when it's time to, but it was definitely a much more competitive game.
but yeah,
What?
so
Yeah.
we'll
It
get
was
it.
definitely a much more competitive game through like the first half, like the first like through three quarters, I think.
Yeah, and I mean we're gonna give you guys a layout of the NFL playoffs in just a moment. First, we're gonna go into another realm and talk about some other ridiculous performances. So much excitement, guys. Please stay tuned because this shit is crazy.
Parallel universe.
We're in another realm, the parallel universe. We got to cover some of the other leagues because there was championships to be had. So I'm going to start with the Family League, which happened to be like one of the most insane matchups. Let me just run it down. So it was the East Coast Virus versus Waters of the River. Now, in this final, it was me, myself, and I who took out my sister-in-law, Christina, the week prior by a few, and against Julia's brother, Jose, Waters of the River. A lot of you might know him from the basketball league, and he's been in the Family League. He's a great fantasy player. In fact, he defeated Julia the week before. Julia lost with 179 points on the board. Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. She started Jalen Hurts, who scored 4.5 before his cross-eyed concussion,
No.
where he was giving the thumbs up to the referee that was standing 6 inches in front of his
put up
face.
179 points
Yes.
while having Hurts go out.
Yes. And Sheamus traded her Hurts for DJ Moore earlier in the season. She's been riding Jaden Daniels all year, and he scored 34. So if she put him in, she would have had
She had Jaden on the
209, bro.
bench.
Yes.
And that's such like a toss up on who to start because it doesn't really matter. They're both putting up big numbers.
Dude, she had Saquon
that
Barkley's like 27, James Cook's like 27. She had Jamison Williams like 27, Terry McLaurin something like that, AJ Brown. I mean, Sam Laporta put up like 20 that week. She had with Jaden Daniels, she would have had 209 and change. And she lost 185 to 179, dude.
Wow, that hurts.
Jalen
I
Hurts
feel for you, Jules.
gave that thumbs up to the referee standing right in front of him. Like the dude was 30 yards away. He's like, me, I'm good. It's all good. I knew there was a
man.
problem, and it was just very intense. So
Damn. So he ended up going up against you in the championship.
and this is how it went, man. First of all, let me just let you guys know I benched Chiga Okonkwo's 10.9, Isaac Guerendo's 13.9. Tyjae Spears 13.3, Marvin Harris is at 15.6, and Jalen McMillan's 23.
Ooh, that hurts.
Okay. Christmas Day, I picked up George Pickens in waivers, okay? Because he was dropped by my sister-in-law after the injury. He missed a couple weeks. Picked him up, last second switch, literally a minute before the game, I switched him in, and he put up 8.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Luckily for me, DeAndre Hopkins was on the other side of the matchup, and he only put up 2.7. So I was feeling pretty good Christmas afternoon.
Oh, man, that's all right.
And
bad pickup, bad start.
I know, yeah. But then I realized, oh my God, Joe Mixon's playing Kansas City. He's my number one running back on my team. I mean, him and I have Bijan too, but I was like, oh, dude, I was going to bench Joe Mixon, and I couldn't bring myself to put Guerendo or Spears in for him.
I mean, that's smart, though. I mean, Mixon is
You have to ride your studs.
Yeah.
Exactly. He put up 5.9 points.
What?
So I was like, shit.
Oh, no.
Then Thursday
So you're
comes.
going into it with 14 points.
Yes.
Between two players.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Exactly. Actually, not just 13.9 to 2.7, but I'm 2 down and he's 1
I
down.
mean, yeah, that 2.7 definitely makes you feel better, but
Feels
not that
okay.
much.
Yeah.
Because it's like, all they need is one guy to go off, and it erases, like, all of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so Thursday, I'm like, all right, dude, I got Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Okay.
Let's bring it back. I'm projected to lose by like 12. Jackson Smith and Jigba goes out.
And he's been balling all season.
insane. He's like the number 7 receiver, or maybe even higher.
Right.
Now, dude, I didn't realize that this was going to be a freaking rainstorm, hurricane.
Really?
I didn't even watch the game, bro.
No.
So as I check in on halftime, I'm like, oh, who scored? Wait, there's no touchdown scored? Wait, what? The game ended at 6-3.
Oh, that was that game.
JSN scored. He had 1.7 almost the whole game. He scored 6.6 total.
Oh, no.
And I was like, that's it, bro. Thankfully, I'm in another
that's
final,
horrible.
but
Hold on, so do you guys have money on the family league?
the family league, yeah, it's a small amount of money. It's like $25 a team, so $300 pot.
What is it? 12 people?
It's
12
12 teams, yeah. So
Okay,
$300
okay.
pot. It's not that bad. I didn't really collect because it's the family, so I have to do that now. Be like, hey, everybody, give me or Jose $25. I'll let you know in a minute.
Yeah. You know, what would be a cool thing to do is like spend it on something for the family for like next Christmas or next New Year's.
That
or
would be
something.
cool. That'd be cool. We do
Or,
have
like,
a
buy,
trophy.
like, a trophy. Yeah.
We have one. It's and we Julia and I will cut out like
Maybe get
the,
like a
the
jersey
name.
to go with it or something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be dope.
The family league's fun. You know,
Yeah.
it's more for that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm basically up 20.5 to 2.7. I'm pissed. Right?
Wow.
I got 3 of my studs
Wow.
putting up 20 points total. Come on. So Saturday comes around and I'm watching Joe Burrow. You know, I'm actually working too, so I'm on the road.
Okay.
Joe Burrow has the ridiculous point explosion that I didn't need. Right?
Oh, he's on the other team?
Yeah, I'm playing against him, bro.
Oh, no.
And I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, there's like 2 minutes left in the game. He just got up to 24 and a half. Like,
yeah.
please end this game.
Right. That's right.
So Chase Brown goes to run a touchdown. And I'm kind of pissed because I'm playing against him in another league, but I'm like, whatever. He goes down to basically ice the game so they could kick the field goal and win the damn thing.
Okay.
Little freaking Macaulay Culkin lookalike Joe Burrow goes, oh, let me just butt plug this one into the end zone and we'll go up by a touchdown. I don't know why they did that shit. I was pissed, yo. I was so pissed. I saw that. I'm like, damn it. Joe Burrow ends up going off in overtime as well. They miss a field goal, so he gets another opportunity to get more yards, then throws a touchdown. T. Higgins again, and he freaking scores 36.98.
Wow.
So I'm like buried, right? I'm buried. I drop my kicker because he's on the Dolphins playing in a weathery game the next day. I pick up the Rams kicker that night in an indoor game. I'm like, fuck, I need something.
Oh, is that why you picked up the kicker in our league
I did,
too?
yeah.
'Cause, like you just like we're just like on
I was
autopilot.
just like, let me just get rid of this.
Oh, I was looking at that. I'm like what is going on? Like they must be trolling at this point. And we'll get into that in a little bit later.
In the doghouse,
but
probably.
Yeah.
But
anyway, okay.
So that night, I'm like, shit, dude,
man.
I'm getting smoked. I was projected to lose by like
Yeah.
30. And I had Kyler Murray that night, like, oh my God, please run a 50-yard touchdown. Please throw it for 2 or 3 touchdowns, please.
How much did he get? He hasn't been playing
Kyler
well.
Murray.
I told you, bro. After Call of Duty, it's done.
It was
Like,
rough. He actually was at like 20 points, and then he threw 2 late interceptions to seal the game. Finished with 16.04.
No bueno.
And then Josh Carty put up 9, the kicker for the Rams. So I was like, damn,
that's not bad.
Yeah,
it's
but
not good, but like it's not bad.
It actually was a point less than the Dolphins kicker that I dropped. So it was like, fuck, I probably need that point. So Sunday comes along, bro. The 1 o'clock games. I already played so many of my players, right? So I have one dude, Brian Thomas Jr.
Okay.
And I'm playing against the Philadelphia defense, who put up 19 with an early pick 6.
Oh man,
annoying. I had playing against Rico Dowdle, who had over 100 yards rushing, but fumbled and ended with 9.8. Thank God.
See, that's why I don't like PPR versus zero, like nothing for the running backs.
Yes,
and we'll discuss that next week.
You're right. Then I also was playing against Devontae Adams, like biting my nails, hoping that he wouldn't have a 40-point fourth quarter like he always does.
Right.
He put up 9.4. And then I was also playing against Travis Etienne, who had a bunch of early points, like 5.7 in the first few minutes. And I was like, shit, dude, I'm done.
Yeah.
He put up only 8.5 total.
Okay.
And then I was playing against Brandon Aubrey, the ridiculous kicker who put up 20 points the week previous.
Yeah.
He ended up winning it against Julia because that was the Monday night game. He was playing in a rainstorm, and I knew it, and I was watching it, yo. And he put up 1 point. What freaking point, right?
Wow.
And then I was also playing against Brenton Strange. Now, this may have really gotten me back into the game. He is the tight end for the Jaguars now that Evan Ingram's on
the guy
IR.
that Mac has been peppering up.
Yes.
Okay.
1 target, 0 catches.
No.
Goose. He goosed.
What?
And Brian Thomas puts up 23.9.
Wow.
So just like that, I'm right back in it, but I'm still projected to lose by about 15.
Sure.
So I'm like
that like 1 point combined between 2 players is that like
bro, I was signed off.
I
was signed off. He had a 0, a 1, and a 2. I mean, the Philadelphia defense got that early pick 6, and I was like, that's the nail in the coffin. I'm done.
Sure, totally.
So it didn't end there. 4 o'clock block. He had Justin Jefferson. I had TJ Hawkinson and the Miami defense.
Okay.
So the Miami defense was playing the Browns. Okay. So I picked them up. I dropped my other defense and I played them. Actually, I had the Bengals previous. They played the Browns, scored 18. The Dolphins did well. They scored 12.
Okay.
Reasonable.
Okay.
And then Justin Jefferson put up 17.2 and TJ Hawkinson kept his pace and put up 11.8.
Okay, so that's 24-17 right there.
Yes. And going into that, going into Sunday night, Waters of the River was up 104.58 to 93.24. I had Bijan Sunday night. 2 1-yard touchdowns and 24.8 fantasy points. I didn't even watch the game, but I got the notifications and I was hyped.
Wow.
So we went into Monday night basically like this. I had the choice. Jawan Jennings or Isaac Guerrero versus Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay, and you're up at this point by like just under 14 points.
Yes, just about 13 and a half.
Okay.
So I'm like, should I start Jawan or Isaac? I'm thinking the Lions are going to blow the 49ers out. So I'm like, let me go receiver because they're going to be peppering him at the end of the game.
Sure.
Isaac Guerrero, I don't know. He was injured last week. I don't know.
Yeah, right. And rookie, like...
Yo, the beginning of the game, Isaac Guerrero's getting all the shit, right?
Ooh.
Jawan Jennings has maybe a catch, whatever.
Uh-huh.
I'm holding this lead, but Jahmyr Gibbs puts up 12 and a half by the half. So I'm up by like 1 or 3. Dude,
So it's basically who has the better second half.
Exactly. And it was insane because I'm watching and I'm like, yes, Craig Reynolds, like keep giving him the damn ball. Keep giving him the damn ball. And then I'm up by about 3 points and Jahmyr Gibbs runs a 30-yard touchdown. The one that Marvelous won.
Marvelous won with 3 minutes to go.
3 minutes.
Oh,
I'm down
man.
by 6.1, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And it's over.
Let me flow this, right? I threw my hat on the ground. I'm sitting with Julia's brother. I'm at his house. I didn't even plan it.
Oh, no.
I'm sitting next to him and I'm like trying not to curse, I'm trying to like keep my cool. And I'm like, you just won, bro, because I saw my phone. We were watching the delayed feed, and I saw my phone. I was actually looking at Billy and Marvelous' game, and I saw Marvelous' shit jump to 179. But I'm looking at his flex and kicker, and I see Jameson stays at 24, and the kicker stays at 9 or 10 or whatever. And I'm like, no. And I zoom up, and I see that Jahmyr's now in the 20s, and I'm like, I lost. I threw my hat on the ground. I was like, oh damn,
man.
You won it, bro. And he won it last year. So back to back.
Back to back.
By the way, I chose Jawan Jennings, right?
Uh-huh.
So on the final drive, I'm like, all right, maybe he can get 3 catches, 30 yards. I don't know. Like,
yeah, maybe,
so
right? It's not
outside
of the realm.
The first play, Jennings drops a pass. I'm like, all right, that's it. You know?
Yeah.
Then Jennings
Some
catches,
quarterbacks won't come back to you after that. Like on the final drive. Like,
exactly. And listen to how this worked out. Then Jennings caught a pass for 8 yards, putting me at 126.94. Meanwhile,
and they had how much?
They had 131.18.
Okay, so you're down by like 4.
Yeah, by like 4, right?
Okay.
Then Brock Purdy got hurt.
Oh,
knocked out of the game. And they bring in Josh Dobbs. And I'm like, yo, hopefully Josh Dobbs has a good rapport with Jawan Jennings.
Right,
because
Josh Dobbs, and he plays well. Like,
of course. And they probably got a lot of practice in because they were typically like second string type of deal.
Sure, totally.
So right when Josh Dobbs comes in, a freaking pass to Jawan Jennings for 15 yards on the sideline.
Oh,
they
man.
challenged it, but they challenged him being in or out of bounds.
Uh-huh.
He was inbounds, so the clock kept moving, but he got the 15 yards.
Wow.
Putting me at 129.44. So I'm down
2 points.
by 1.9, right?
Wow.
Bro, unbelievable. I'm sorry, I'm down by like 1.7.
Yeah.
1.74. The next play, Josh Dobbs throws to Jawan Jennings for 9 yards.
No.
Putting me at 131.34.
What?
Which is 0.16 ahead.
What?
Then Jawan Jennings gets an end zone target that he drops. I don't even look at my phone. They score the touchdown with Josh Dobbs. He runs it in. They fail the onside kick. The Lions then kneel, and the final score is 131.34 to 131.18, bro.
What?
And I won that shit. Yeah. Oh my God. I was freaking out. And my freaking brother-in-law was like, he was like, no, it's bullshit. It was scripted. Oh, it's bullshit. No way. And he had the trophy at his house. So we took a picture with Julia and him, because Julia won the first season, he won the second. And I'm holding the trophy up, and I send it to the group chat. I don't know if anybody got it, or understood it. But now that you hear this, hopefully you could go back to that and just see they're both reaching for the trophy, and I'm just in my glory, bro. I'm so hyped. I am the Family League fantasy champion.
Wow.
And I was projected to get 0 wins in that league. What now?
Well
what
done.
now?
Well done. Well
So
done. Well
freaking
done,
hyped,
well done.
bro.
Well, you're not the only one to win a championship outside of Marvelous in our league. Scott also won a championship this year.
Awesome. Good job,
So this
Scott,
all
man.
around, just like well done, Scott. Like 3rd place in our league, 1st overall in the regular season.
Getting that money.
Won the championship in your work league. Like that's an impressive year for you. I gotta say you should be proud. And so Scott's team in his work league is called the Mold Shop Mechanics.
No, Maniacs. Mold Shop Maniacs.
Oh, I can read bad. That's even better. So the Mold Shop Maniacs. Thank you, bro. I've been thinking mechanics this whole time. Oh, all right, cool. So anyway, and he was going up against New Haven Pizzas.
I like that name.
Right? Not bad. Especially for a work league. Like, you don't want to get too racy with it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know you guys both.
Like New Haven.
Like
undressed
whore
pizzas.
liquors. Like, I don't know. Like New Haven, but booty
naked,
juice. Like
naked pizzas.
yeah.
No sauce.
You and the naked just to be provocative. Like,
It's just so obvious.
yeah. All right. So anyway, so Scott and the Mold Shop Maniacs, not mechanics, maniacs. Obviously Scott had his guy Purdy.
Of
right?
course he did. Of course he did. Good for you, Scott.
Right?
Winning with your guy, that feels good, bro.
Right?
That feels
I mean,
good.
and it paid off.
Yeah.
Because Purdy put up 32 points against Detroit.
Insane.
But he was going against New Haven Pizzas, who had Baker Mayfield and Bucky Irving on the
Yikes.
stack.
Yikes.
And that gave him 35 from Baker and 23 from Bucky.
Damn.
So it was pretty much a wash for the quarterbacks.
Yeah, for sure.
But 23 from Bucky on top of that's rough. But fortunately for Scott, he had Mike Evans.
Oh,
And Mike was the main one getting all of those passes from Baker.
going
And,
for that $3 million.
yo, Mike had a monster game and scored 30 points on his own.
Damn.
So that fully countered Bucky Irving. But on top of that, Scott also had Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh, yeah.
And Jahmyr Gibbs that week put up 26 points against the 49ers.
That better have clinched it.
So you have Jahmyr Gibbs with 26 going up against Bucky Irving with 23. You got Purdy with 32 going up against Baker with 35. Kind of a wash. But New Haven Pizzas, he was not ready to lose. Like, this guy came to play, and he got his own monster game from Devontae Smith, who also put up 30 points.
Oh, damn.
And
Washing
then-
out Mike Evans' 30
Washing
points.
it out. And then on top of that, he had Amon Ra, who put up 20 points against that 49ers team.
Did they have anybody who sucked?
So it wasn't all peaches and cream, like, but Scott was ready to play. He was ready to play. So he came through George Kittle, who had 19 points, washing out Amon Ra.
Taking out Amon Ra, I was going to say
And
that.
he also had Jacoby Myers with 17. But that's where it kind of started to dip out. And he had DJ Moore with 12 points.
That's all right.
But JSN and
Oh.
Brees Hall really crapped the bed for him. And they each put up 6 points. So
The week started off like that. Lots of low-scoring players. man.
yeah,
Lots of them.
it wasn't a good look. And so he, that had to have been not good for him. But especially since New Haven Pizzas, he got a good showing from Marvin Harrison with 15 and a half points. And Okonkwo was all right with 11 points.
Oh, it's like Billy. It's like
right,
Billy's
right.
lineup.
But he had a bad outlook too, because he had Josh Jacobs, who really disappointed, matching 10.9 like Okonkwo.
Yuck.
And Brian Robinson was really not good with 8.9 points, despite having a productive day for his real team in real life.
Yeah, not the week prior, though.
No.
That's how I took Billy out in another league that we might have to talk
but
about.
like that's another like test study for like why running backs need their like 0.1 on every carry or whatever. Because like you can have a really good day and you just don't get any credit for it. So that's something we need to talk about. But nonetheless, this one was close. This one was close as hell. And because Scott had Jahmyr Gibbs, it came down to the wire for him too. And the funny thing about this one is it came down to the wire as far as time goes, right? 3 minutes left in the Monday night game.
Another game decided
But
by that.
It
That's the third
also
one.
came down to the wire as far as straight up matchups go, because the last position you think about, right?
Yeah.
Was the position that had the biggest impact on this game.
Well, it wasn't
And
the kicker, right? But
it was the defense.
the defense. Okay.
Right? They don't have kickers in
Yeah,
his
I noticed
work league.
that. I was gonna say that's why I said
So
that.
the kicker had no impact whatsoever.
Well, an
Um,
even impact. It was also even.
Right. But in this case, Jahmyr Gibbs' touchdown on Monday night was the last straw. But it was the 6 points that Scott got from the Falcons defense that really put him over the top, as it compared to the negative 3 points that New Haven Pizzas got from the Colts defense.
And who did they play?
The
The New York Football Giants.
Oh, the Giants.
I could
That's
fill
right.
that
They
in.
put up like 45 points, didn't they?
Marvellis would have really suffered if he kept playing his strategy of playing
Right,
defenses
play
against the Giants.
Against the Giants. Ooh, wow.
I think he was smart
I didn't even think
to
about
switch that out.
Yeah, no. If there were no defenses in this league, and considering there are no kickers, then I could see a place for no defenses also. Or if both defenses had just scored their expected amount of points, Scott would have lost. But because he chose the better defense, he's crowned champion of his work league, and he won 155.28 to 150.86.
All right, dude. Mold Shop Maniacs champion. Let's go.
Congrats, bro. Yeah.
Awesome.
No,
man.
congrats. You
Awesome.
deserve it. Obviously, you had a great year in both leagues. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, man. And just want to cover one more league, Jay's League, which some of us are in. It was a really fun year. I actually finished in first place in the regular rankings. Like the last week, I moved to first for the first time ever. I've never been in first
nice.
there.
Good job.
I shared the same record with the second place team. And
I kind of wish I had joined Jay's League when he invited people, but I'm also glad I didn't, because
it's just a lot.
The extra work sounds like extra work.
Yeah, it does.
But it does sound like fun.
But in another great Super Bowl matchup, we had the number 1 albino chameleons from Queens versus Rico's Roughnecks. Both of us previous roommates of Jason Ritberg. And I was told by Billy and Jay prior to this matchup that I'd have my hands full, and I was not understanding why. So I'll just give you a breakdown as to player against player. So I had Jared Goff's 23.82 versus Brock Purdy's 28.
I'll read Rico's side of things.
Okay,
just,
okay,
make it
that's
easier
good.
for
Yeah.
people.
So
Then Rico had Purdy, who put up 28.28, so Purdy won on that one.
So he put up about 4.5 more than me.
Yeah.
And then I had J.K. Dobbins and James Cook, who combined for 26.1.
And Rico had Saquon and Chase Brown for 29.
So I was outscored by about 3 there. And I had Cortland Sutton and Amon-Ra St. Brown, who combined for 30.
And Rico had Pittman and Justin Jefferson, who put up 35.
Damn, so it seemed pretty even.
Yeah.
And then
He's actually beating you.
Yeah, by about 10, 12.
10, yeah.
For the tight end, I put up Trey McBride's 24.3.
And Rico put up 9.3 with TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, half-point PPR, so that's why he looks a little lower.
Okay.
In the flex, where I do my best work, flexing my muscles, Malik Neighbors and Isaac Rendo combined for 44.5, dude.
Whereas Hunter Henry and Alexander Madison only put up 4.3.
Yes.
Eesh.
And just to let you know, Hunt Hen had a goose.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't help that Jake Bates, the Lions kicker, put up 10.
Whereas Aubrey only put up 1.
Yes, I played against Aubrey in 2 championships. Hell yeah.
Huh.
The independent defensive players, there's 3 of them. My 3 totaled 21.5.
Whereas Rico's were just 6.5.
Yes. And he also left some notable bench players, Amir Abdullah and Olamide Olamide.
They put up 36.
36 on the bench.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have made a difference.
It wouldn't have made a difference at all, as the final score is Albino Chameleons from Queens 180.22 and a half-point PPR to
Rico's Roughnecks with a whooping 112.98.
So that means the Albino Chameleons from Queens are the Lions Den champions.
Congrats.
I won 2 championships.
2 out of 3. That's impressive.
In a season, and
That
did a
is
podcast
impressive.
to prove it.
That is impressive.
And didn't
Well
make the
done.
playoffs in our league. But
Right.
yo, I'm so hyped.
That's all right though. You
Oh
should
my
be.
God.
You should be proud of yourself.
And that's a money ball right there. That's
Yeah.
a money ball. I
Yeah,
got
take that.
got basically what Marv got, a little
yeah,
bit more.
nah, drinks are on you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
got water, tap water. Yo, so just so you guys know, man, it's been a great season on all ends. Congratulations to the champions, Marvelous, Scott, Brendan. You know, it's cool.
Yeah, no, kudos to all of you guys. You deserve everything that you get from it. The feeling of satisfaction, the money that might come along with it or not, depending on who you're telling.
And you thought Marvellous's and Billy's matchup was close. It was, because it came down to the last 3 minutes. But look at Scott's matchup within 5.
Right.
Look at Jose and my matchup. I mean,
I
that
know.
shit was just
Less
insane.
than half a point.
I mean,
like, less
literally,
than a quarter of a point. That's crazy.
3 catches on the last drive for 32 yards. And
Yeah.
I said it to him. I'm like, if
it's
I get
nuts.
3 for 30 or a touchdown, I'll be good. And he's like, you're not gonna get it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think I am.
Yeah, no.
Holy shit, dude.
We need some new blood up in there next year. So I'll be looking to take my place, and I hope that everyone else that was in our league is looking to do the same. We'll be continuing with this podcast to try to give people some fair ground to stand on. We'll have a keepers episode. We'll have a draft episode.
Rule change ideas.
Which we'll have to vote on in the group chat. But
and a Super Bowl episode, we're gonna try to do something live, try to do something new for you guys. We're growing and advancing as we go, and we hope that you guys enjoyed this, and we hope to grow our listenership by appealing to others outside the leagues we talk about. So keep liking, subscribing, commenting, and just telling your friends.
But before we get out of here,
True.
Because it does sound like we're saying goodbye. But
No,
not
we're just
yet.
saying goodbye to the fantasy aspect. Now let's talk about the reality.
We've got the playoffs coming up.
Yes, we do.
The real playoffs,
And they're
in real life.
They're all hammered down. It's Monday morning.
Yeah. Had a hell of a game last night. To figure out what the last seeding in the NFC was going to be.
And it paid so well. I mean, literally, the winner of that game gets a bye week.
Yeah,
Huge.
huge.
Home field advantage. Huge. Right? I mean,
Well, yeah.
those two elements are insanely huge.
They were fighting really hard. We saw some people go down with some injuries, or at least some like bumps and bruises. And so that bye week, it comes in particularly handy for that reason, but also for a team like the Lions, where David Montgomery, he's technically available to come back in the playoffs.
Awesome.
Awesome. And so if he's ready, who knows? Maybe we see him first round of the playoffs, and that would be huge for
Second
that
round.
team.
Since they have the bye week.
First round for them. My bad. Yeah.
They have a deserved 15-2 bye week, where the Chiefs have a less deserved 15-2 bye week.
I can't say that,
but it's still a bye week and home field
wins
advantage.
are wins. You are what your record is.
We'll see what happens.
So, I mean, true, but I still think that their record is what it is. It's deserved because they got it.
It is.
I would not be betting on them to win the Super Bowl, although they look like they're rounding into shape at the right time. And that's what I've been talking about it all year long. I talked about it with Marvelous and Colin's fantasy teams. Did you peak too early? You got to hope that the Lions didn't, but
the problem is their depth is absolute shit, as they lost to the Broncos 38-0 yesterday by benching a few of their starters. So if Mahomes goes down, if Kelsey goes down. They don't really have a good run game. I mean, Pacheco hasn't really come back into his own. They're winning games by one score. Yes, they beat up on the Steelers and they beat up on like one or two other teams this season. If they don't have the referees that they want in these games, I will see an early exit.
I want to believe that too, and logic tells me that that's the case. But I've seen it too much with the Patriots. I'm not going to count them out until they're out.
True.
They're number one for a reason, and it all looks like luck until they win the championship with that same luck.
I don't see it happening with the way they played against the Bills last time, but we'll see how it goes. You want to do a breakdown of?
They're also fortunate because, all right, so this is how the AFC is looking, right?
Okay, yeah.
You've got Chiefs in first on one side of the bracket. Then you've got the Bills in second playing the Broncos at seventh on the other side of the bracket,
which is Sunday's early game, 1 o'clock.
Then we've got the Ravens in third playing the Steelers in sixth on Saturday evening at 8 o'clock.
Awesome freaking game. Oh my goodness. I'm picking the Ravens early. How about you?
I really hope I don't like the Steelers at all. I really hope it's the Ravens. I like them as a team. I like Lamar. I think Lamar needs this postseason run to kind of solidify his legacy.
He's had an outstanding season. He may be in the MVP talks for the last couple guys.
He should be the MVP. I don't see anyone else that deserves it over him.
Although I would love to see them get eliminated by the Steelers. It would just be such a brutal loss, like a divisional loss.
Yeah, I don't like the Steelers. I don't like Russ. I don't like Pickens.
Do not like Russ either. Najee. I don't like Pickens. Najee's cool. I love their coach. He's
I like
awesome.
I like Mike Tomlin.
Freiermuth is cool. You know, he's sturdy.
I also don't fully respect Mike Tomlin. Like, I feel like he's a little overrated, just based off the fact that he had Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown before he went crazy. Like Emmanuel Sanders, Le'Veon Bell,
Antoine Randall,
and like who did they have
Martavis
on defense
Bryant?
at that point? Did they have was that Joey Porter years and
yes,
like they had all this talent and couldn't beat the Patriots in the playoffs.
But what's crazy is Tomlin took over for Bill Cowher. Bill Cowher, who was there for probably as long as Tomlin's been there.
Yeah.
That's nice to see.
They're what's known as a stable franchise,
yes,
which is why I'm pissed off that Kraft fired Mayo after 1 year.
Dude, think about this. Mike Tomlin still has yet to have a losing season.
Yeah,
that is impressive.
He's had some really good drafting.
For sure.
But continuity goes a long way.
He's a smart coach, dude. He's smart.
He's good. And he deals with some really crazy players. Like, think about who they've had in that locker room, right? They had Le'Veon Bell, who sat out a season because he wanted to get paid more.
True.
They had, obviously, Antonio Brown. They had
Martavis Bryant. Plaxico.
Right,
but he went crazy in New York,
right? But who knows? Maybe he was. Maybe he right.
Cheddar
but they had Chase Claypool. They had Deontay Johnson. Like, they are just
George
all about
Pickens, who is a freaking
did I not mention Pickens?
Didn't mention
right?
him, but
like
he's
they take all the nutcase wide receivers basically. Like, I'm surprised that they haven't had what was his name? Chosen Robinson.
Okay.
I'm surprised they didn't draft him. But
what was the dude that hit Antonio Brown in the playoff game and lost it for the Bengals? Vontez Burfict would have been a perfect addition to the Steelers.
Because he
was a dirty ass player.
They only really do wide receivers. You can add Le'Veon Bell in there, but they only really do wide receivers. Although they did have the Pouncey, one of the Pouncey brothers, who was like free Aaron Hernandez. You know, that was not a good look. But
and let's be real. I mean, Palomalu really carried that team for several years as well. I mean, that dude was just outstanding.
I don't know. They're good at drafting defense. They had. I got to give it to them. They're good at defense. Like, they had Cam Hayward back then, like a young Cam Hayward. Who else did they have? They had they had some linebackers that were beasts outside of Joey Porter. They had Ryan Clark, who was okay. They had good defense. You got to give it to them.
Yeah. All
right, so anyway.
we spent too much time
All
on a
right,
team that's going to get eliminated in the
Like-
first round.
And like 20 years ago.
and then starts Russell Wilson.
But
Come
so,
on, guys.
right. So anyway, I'm hoping the Ravens win that.
They will.
I would be betting on them.
They will.
Then the last matchup we've got is the number 4 Texans against the number 5 Chargers.
Yuck.
Which is Saturday at 4:30 p.m.
God, that's the only game I really don't care to watch. I mean, I like both teams kind of, but this year I don't think either of these teams deserves to be in the playoffs. Sorry.
I hate to say it, but like the Texans seem like they're just like not maybe mentally that tough.
I don't know what it is, bro.
Well, because like
The addition of
I
Joe
have
Mixon should have made them better this year, and they just aren't. And he's great.
I have no problem with the emotion that Stroud was feeling when Tank Dell went down.
Yeah.
Right? I love to see it, honestly. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
that's how you should feel
that's
about
great,
your
yeah.
teammates. But it seems like they weren't really able to bounce back from it because their next game they only put up 2 points.
And let's be real, Stephon Diggs was not what they needed, and when they lost him, he was not the glue that held that team together.
No, but like he had a good.
He was a good addition.
He was good, right? He was a trusted vet on the backside. Like
It's-
losing Nico for the majority of the year, that was a big loss for them.
It's really the lackluster performances of C.J. Stroud, Dalton Schultz, and their defense.
Yeah, you got to say the defense, right? But I will say that like CJ, he had an okay season. It wasn't horrible. It really wasn't.
It looked way worse based on where, especially in fantasy, where you drafted him based on his last year's
and
performance.
what people expected based off last year.
Exactly.
And so there's 2 things I got to say. Is that on one hand, a sophomore slump is perfectly acceptable, right? You actually should expect it like 75% of the time.
Yeah.
On the other hand, though, it's not a good look to be spending the entire offseason doing podcasts in the limelight, talking about I'm one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. Like, maybe
Yikes.
there's something to say to having a little humility when you haven't even played more than a season in the league. You know,
It kind of reminds me of Sam Laporta in a way, like where he had his sophomore slump, but he still had a great season for a tight end. But just compared to his first season, it's
right.
like,
It's hard to live up to it, right?
Really hard.
So we were talking about this on the phone yesterday about like has Bryce Young surpassed CJ Stroud?
I think in the last few weeks,
I would
it
say
looks
no.
that way.
And I would just say no. I would just say they're more even than we gave them credit
Yeah.
for.
The whole
halfway
like
through the season.
the whole like mistake that
But,
the
like-
Panthers made doesn't sit that well. It has expired.
To
Like,
me,
I feel
like-
they're getting more even for sure.
To me, CJ Stroud has had one really good season and one okay season, whereas Bryce Young has had like a season and a half of really
doo-doo.
bad,
Yeah,
and then like
He's
half a season of
pretty damn
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's only
He's
pretty
running-
good.
he's
It's
running
not,
the ball-
It's
he's-
not great. It's
The thing is,
still
he's
just-
making plays. Like if
Listen, I would before like halfway through the season, I would say that the Panthers would have been right to draft a quarterback this year.
Yeah.
At this point, I think that they would be stupid to draft a quarterback.
oh yeah, of
I
course
think that would be
Oh,
a horrible mistake.
very stupid. Just
Especially
keep,
in
just
this
keep
draft,
the
like, they're not that
redhead
great.
Andy Dalton,
Or
as
maybe
your
they
backup.
take like a 4th rounder, right?
Yeah.
No, definitely not Andy Dalton. After I saw Joe Milton play, draft a quarterback
A
right
big one.
now.
A
Draft
big
one.
quarterback.
Or trade for Joe Milton.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like if anyone wants to give up a 1st round pick for Joe Milton,
Or imagine having Kirk Cousins as your backup. It will never happen.
well, I mean, yeah, no, they got to trade him. All right, so you want to run down, or you want me to run down the NFC?
I could run it down.
Yeah, go for
I'd
it.
be very excited to. In the first seed, we've already explained that the Lions have secured the 1st round bye and home field advantage. Well deserved.
Well deserved.
I think
Good for
that
them.
they will make the Super Bowl as a
I
one
think that
seed.
they've got to be like the favorite in the country, like overwhelmingly. If you're just like polling everyone,
Yeah.
like I think that they've got to be the overwhelming favorite.
They're tremendous. They're having a great season. They're doing it on all ends, and as we saw last night, their defense is also standing up to the challenge. Great performance. I mean, 2 4th and goals from the 2 and 3 yard line to shut those down. I mean, come
Yeah.
on, bro. That's awesome.
I did see a stat that if the Vikings had not tried to do the 4th down shit, they would have been up like 15-9 at like the half.
Yeah.
Which,
And
like
they also missed 2 field goals, which were 50 plus. So let's not get on the rookie Reichard, who looks like a very studious boy. Let's go into the 2 seed, the Philadelphia Eagles that we all hate, playing at home against the Packers. It was so funny yesterday watching the Packers realize that, holy shit, Washington might lose. And there's 3 minutes left in the game and we're losing. Like, we need to win. Jordan Love was injured and he's like testing out his wrist or his elbow or whatever, like going back into the game. And the Packers did everything they could and they lost at the very same time to a field goal as the Washington Commanders beat the Cowboys with a touchdown. It was awesome because it was simultaneously, if you watched Red Zone, it was just like perfect. And those that are like conspiracy theorists would be like, oh, it's just the script. They just followed the script. Yeah, try to do that in 2 different cities in a stadium packed full of 60,000 people or whatever.
I mean, I will say this. There's a very outlandish, and I'll admit that it's outlandish, but not a non-zero chance of it being true theory that there are like magnets in the balls. And so you can like affect things by putting magnets in the uprights and stuff like that.
Is that the next Patriots scandal that we're going to hear about on ESPN? And you'll never watch ESPN again because
listen, if the Patriots are magnetizing it, then everyone's magnetizing it. I promise you.
Well, the Eagles lucked out, in my opinion, because they are facing the Packers and not their division rival Commanders. I feel like the Packers may outperform the Commanders in many levels, but I think in the quarterback room, the Commanders got that shit. And a divisional matchup always shakes things up. So the Commanders are happy. The Eagles are happy, I imagine.
Yeah, so Jordan Love is funny to me because I watch him play and I'm not that impressed.
No, not really. He's like Brock Purdy. Like, he gets it done enough to make the playoffs.
No, to me, he's more like... Actually, he's more like Favre to me. Where it's like, he has impressive... like physical attributes and he's productive enough, but like on a down basis he just doesn't seem efficient to me. I think that I'm more of a Jared Goff style fan, which is why, and I'm going to keep doing this, but which is why I'm so happy with Drake, because Drake is willing to do all of it, where he's like willing to play like a gunslinger and take the profit.
Yeah.
But it's also why Josh Allen has turned from a liability into one of the best players in the league. Like a lot of the Patriots players say that it was when he became okay with just taking a profit and not trying to get a touchdown on every single play. That's when he went from Wyoming Josh to MVP Josh.
Yeah.
We'll see. That's what's so good about Jared Goff, is that he'll just go where the defense lets him go.
Well, I'm sure he's thrilled that he went to Detroit. In LA, he was not looking too hot.
Yeah. That would be wild if if it works out for both of them and both of them get a Super Bowl though.
That would be pretty
LA
cool.
And
that would be
Detroit.
It very likely will happen. So the Commanders do get the 6th seed by beating the Cowboys. Yes, I love when people beat the Cowboys. It's so awesome. And they face a team that almost eliminated themselves to get somebody a little extra incentive bonus. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Granted, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were up 8 on a terrible Saints team who had Spencer Rattler kind of throwing the ball around and scaring them, right? What's crazy about this is the Buccaneers get the ball back, and all they have to do is kneel it down. But, of course, Mike Evans is 5 yards short of his $3 million bonus incentive. I was rooting for him. I love Mike Evans. More so not for the $3 million. Like, go get your money. You're the man, and I'm sure you have incorporated that into your finances. But more so because this is his 11th consecutive 1,000-yard-plus season receiving yards. Awesome, dude. So I think that's more of the hit. They threw the ball to him for 7 yards when they could have just kneeled it down and ended the game. I wonder how the owners feel about that. I know the coaches and Baker love that shit, but...
So, I have a few things to say about this.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what you have to say about it. Go Mike Evans, but I think it was stupid.
I want to start with the owner thing. If they're a good ownership group, which they seem like they are...
They're going to root for him to hit his numbers.
They want him to get his numbers.
Of course.
They want him to get his money. And I know that throughout the years, the Patriots have paid out bonuses that weren't met.
Oh, really?
If like there was some kind of a circumstance where they felt like the player still deserved it.
Yeah. And
Right?
Mike Evans did it
So,
with
like,
an injury, what, 4
right,
weeks missed?
Right. If
or
there's like an
3 or
injury where you miss time,
Yeah.
or if you whatever, if they feel like you deserved it, the Patriots would pay out bonuses, incentives
That's nice.
that weren't met anyway.
Thank
so-
God for Kraft macaroni and cheese paying for all that stuff.
Not him, but yes.
It's not him, right?
so-
it's a different Kraft.
Right. So
What is it? Kraft
No,
frozen
like,
pizzas?
No,
or-
like paper and stuff. They do something totally different.
Oh, Kraft paper.
But so yeah, so if they're a good ownership group, they wanted to get paid out. It's good for them. They make more money with it happening.
I feel like
that's
they
my-
probably would have paid him if they just kneeled the ball down and gave
Right.
him it because he was
Maybe.
5 yards short.
Yeah.
But it's really just for those stat
So-
sheets.
So that brings me to our next point.
Okay.
I don't like that Mike Evans has 10 or
11.
9 seasons where he got to 1,000 yards in 16 games, and 2 seasons where he got to 1,000 yards in 17 games, and where it took the 17th game for him to get.
But he
the
missed
1,000
games both seasons. So
True. But nonetheless, he might have missed games other seasons too. That's how it works.
yeah.
Like, that's why it's so hard to have that longevity, because injuries happen. I have issues with using the same benchmarks for 17 game seasons as we had for 16 game seasons or 14 game seasons.
Now,
And so that goes to Saquon Barkley.
I wanted to bring this up.
That goes to Saquon Barkley's like approaching the record also.
Here's the thing, real quick, because you're going to say that it was done in 14 game season or 16 game season.
At both.
But the amount of carries was less for Saquon by about 30 something.
Well,
so,
against who?
Dickerson.
Right. Dickerson is not my comparison, because Dickerson did it in 16 games. Right? My
On
comparison
less carries. That's the whole thing.
But my comparison is with O.J. Simpson,
okay.
who only played 14 games and ran for 2,003 yards. And so the reason why it irks me is that you look at Saquon's numbers through 14 games, and he was at 1,600 yards. So he was 350 or more yards away from OJ's pace.
I'd like to look at the amount of carries and the yards per carry, because that really is the telltale. Like the games, I understand, yes, less games, less opportunity. But if you're toting the ball, I mean, to get 2,003 yards, you don't think that when he was at like 1,800, 1,900, they were like, feed OJ, like 40 carries a game.
I don't
type
know.
Of shit?
I didn't see the season. It was in the 70s. I wasn't
Of
alive.
course, but
A lot of things were different, but nonetheless, like, I mean, like the style of play was different,
Yeah.
right? Like they ran the ball. The running the ball was a much bigger part of it.
you can't
However,
you can't take greatness away though. If somebody hits 2,000 yards, it doesn't matter. Like,
no, but see, that's the thing to me, is that hitting 2,000 yards in 14 games is wild.
Super freak
when
nasty,
when
yeah.
you're looking at guys who need 16 games to get to 2,000 now, and they're just barely squeaking above it, right? Like that. So
only
I
nine,
have
only
an
nine guys have
issue.
ever done it, right?
Is that how many?
I think.
Yeah, I have an issue with the statistics in football, and I think that they need to be given more context, and so that's why I'm bringing it up.
Okay, it's a good point, but let me just give my piece. I think that benching Saquon Barkley, okay, there's the whole element. You're going to the playoffs. You want to have Saquon. Great. But, the dude definitely would have broken the record. He definitely would have broken the record, regardless of how many games. And the end of it, then we could have compared the amount of carries to the amount of yards. And that's really where it would have come down for me, for anyone. It doesn't matter how many games you do it in. If you do it in less carries, then that's impressive. And that should be, celebrated, I think. So With that being said, Saquon was benched. Boo, Nick Sirianni, you suck a big ass, fat ass, whatever you want to suck on. Hate you. You're all right. Hate the Eagles.
All right, let's see. I want to look at
You finished
at
eighth.
OJ's season. OJ is 9th. Yeah, because he just squeaked in there. And
Wait, did Saquon? He did do 2,000. Yeah, he hit 2,000.
Saquon got it.
But he didn't break the record, and he could have. And that's just so annoying. Because I don't know if he's going to be able to repeat that effort.
No, I mean that's tough. So OJ Simpson had 332 carries. And let's see, how many did Saquon have? 332.
Okay,
And
it's probably about the same.
Saquon
Had
345.
Okay, so Saquon had 13 more carries
And 2 more yards.
2 more yards. So, okay,
Right.
so we'll say OJ had a better year in 70 whatever before we were born.
Yeah.
But he had a worse
I think that
after NFL life.
he
For
is
sure.
he is 9th on the rushing list, but he had the most impressive season of anyone on that list.
Okay.
That's really what it comes down
Maybe
to me.
maybe yards per carry.
Yards
of-
per game.
Of people over 2,000 yards.
I think yards per carry over that is a good one. Yards per game is a good one. It just needs to be on a more of a per snap, per game, per season.
Okay. Well,
basis.
enough of the stats. Mike Evans, Saquon Barkley, congratulations to being awesome. As much as I hate the Eagles, I was rooting for Saquon. I was pissed to hear that he was out. Let's figure the last part of the NFC, and then we'll kind of give our guesses as to what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The Vikings fall to the 5 seed, and they're on the road, and they're going to LA, so
Yeah,
they might
that's
not
rough.
make it too much further past. When is that game?
That one
Monday?
is Monday. Yeah,
Nice,
Monday
we get a
night.
Monday night game.
Yeah.
Oh man, the Vikings, dude. I'm sure that they are just.
I would be pissed
not very
having
happy.
to do that's so dumb to me, having to do a Monday night game. Like some people get Saturday and you get Monday. That's
well,
rough.
they did just play Sunday night. Then again, so they get 8 days. But
Yeah.
the Rams. If they bench some of their starters, they have a really great team. It'll be very interesting to see how they do against that Vikings stout defense. In that matchup,
Rams have a good defense
I
too, though.
I hate to say it, but I think LA is going to take out Minnesota.
You think so?
I think so.
I honestly feel the same way.
Yeah.
I'm worried that like Sam Darnold might be a little hobbled.
Yes, that's also true. And they have, Daniel Jones to fill in. It's not the worst backup to have. He should have been a backup his whole career. But
I think I gotta say that like that they've got experience on their team. Like they've got championship experience in
Sure.
Stafford and
Kupp.
Cup.
And Puka is just lights out.
Right, like Puka,
Kyron's lights out.
and Justin Jefferson are probably the 2 best receivers in the league. So
Which
it's
is-
like that's
which
a wash.
is saying something. Imagine you
that's-
said that 2 years ago
I know,
before
right?
the draft. Holy shit.
At least like they both fall in the top 5 at the very least, and so that's kind of a wash. Both defenses are really good.
Oh, outstanding.
But I think you got to take McVay over O'Connell.
Yeah.
Which O'Connell is good. So
I think
it's
the
not
Vikings
not
defense-
saying a lot. Like
Vikings defense is better than the Rams defense, but not by too much. And I think the Rams offense is better than the Vikings offense, but just by a little. Because think, all the Suns, we got Jefferson, Hawkinson, Addison,
yeah,
Aaron Jones, Cam Akers is even
Hawkinson
looking good.
Hawkinson's hit or miss. So like I feel like he's not that much better than Parkinson. I feel like this.
What
more
about
Suns.
Wendelson?
I would take Kyron obviously over Aaron Jones, but Aaron Jones is not a slouch.
But
But-
Cam Akers over Blake Corum.
And I think they both have really good offensive lines. They both have really good defenses. Hopefully, it's a good game.
It's probably going to be the game of
But
the
I
week.
think it comes down to the coaching, and I got to take McVay. McVay is probably the best, or I guess the second best coach in the league after Andy Reid.
Okay, so we both have the Rams on Monday night by a hair.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the Bucks and the Commanders? What are you looking at there? That's also a really good matchup, I think.
So my question is about the Commanders' defense. Is it as good as they think they are? They kind of had a slide at the end of the season, but Jaden started playing better. How is he going to look in his first postseason action?
How is Zach Ertz going to hold up?
Right. I think like on the other side of things, the Bucks, Baker's been playing well, but he throws some picks. But their offense is loaded. Even like their rookie Jalen McMillan has been playing really well.
Oh yeah,
Mike Evans is Mike Evans.
Cade Otton's
Cade Otton. Like their running backs are who they are. Their offensive line is good. I don't know if their defense is very good either. They've given up some points.
And who? I mean, besides Terry McLaurin, who's like the next hotness in Washington?
Right,
It's
and
like kind of
Brian
a question.
Robinson is like questionable performance wise.
It's true. They look like the weaker team. But I'm gonna go out on a limb.
I'm gonna say
Commanders win.
You know, I think that Jaden might be the more clutch of the two.
I hope so.
But Baker's not
because you
a
see
slouch.
Baker, if he's on a 3rd and long and he doesn't see anyone open, he's
know
gonna
what?
find his way to that.
I'm
going
gonna
to
let us split on this. I'm going
Okay.
with Bake.
Cool.
But it's a tough one because I kind of trust Jaden. Like I kind of just do.
And I want to see the Washington win so bad and eliminate the Bucks.
Yeah.
I don't hate the Bucks, and I do like Washington because they've been bad for so long as an NFC East team. I should hate them, but and then for the Eagles and Packers, like I'm rooting for the Packers, but we all know the Eagles are going to win. But
yeah,
how
the
awesome
Eagles,
would it be for Green
the
Bay?
Eagles
to
should run
eliminate
right
them?
over them, but the Packers, if they're hitting on all cylinders. But here's the thing: while we were on the pod, we had breaking news: Christian Watson is out for the season with an ACL tear.
Ooh,
horrible timing for that.
damn.
It's probably going to go. Recovery is probably going to go into next season.
Jaden Reed has been really lackluster.
And
Dontavian Wicks is like an afterthought.
Like he's lightning in a bottle. He'll get 1 out of every 5 games.
Like
He'll be
Xavier
good.
Worthy, kind of.
Yeah.
And Tucker Kraft
well, no,
is
Xavier
really gonna,
Worthy actually got pretty steady.
Yeah,
towards the end of the season.
they fed him a lot.
Yeah.
But Tucker Kraft is a good wild card for the Packers.
He is.
He's a good tight end, and Romeo Doubs is going to have to step it up.
Their
bro.
defense, when it's healthy, they're pretty good.
Yeah, their defensive backs
I don't
are
know.
awesome.
The Eagles. How do you vote? How do you bet against them? Like,
hey, is Jalen Hurts out of concussion protocol yet?
I mean, I would imagine that they kept held him out last game
Probably.
just because he didn't need to.
But is he cleared? That's a good question because a lot of people have, like, what if it's a Cedric Tillman style?
What if it's multiple
He's been
weeks?
out for like 5 weeks.
Totally. So I don't know. I haven't been following because I'm not an Eagles fan.
Yeah, me neither at all. But we're both going to say the Eagles on that.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles.
And then moving over to the AFC, Texans Chargers. That's really a toss up for me as well. It's not a clear winner, but
I think I'm going pretty clearly with the Chargers.
Really?
Yeah, just because
I'm going Texans.
Texans haven't looked good to me. Like
they haven't.
Putting up 2 points was really concerning. And
this is Houston. It's in Houston.
So I'm taking the coach.
Okay.
I think that Harbaugh is a legitimate coach.
For sure.
He has. I don't think he's won at every level, but he's taken every team he's ever coached to the championship.
Yeah.
And I think that Justin Herbert is a better quarterback than CJ Stroud, I don't care when you're looking at it in history. This year, last year, no matter what, I think Herbert is
I'd
a
say
better
Herbert's
quarterback.
better. Yeah.
I think that Lad McConkey can be as productive as Nico Collins, especially considering quarterback play.
What about J.K. Dobbins versus Joe Mixon? I mean, Joe Mixon takes the cake on that, in my opinion.
Dobbins is back?
Yeah, he's back. He played.
Okay.
I actually started him in the Jays League.
I would normally take Mixon, but like it hasn't looked good in Houston. That's my big thing.
It hasn't.
And so if they were playing like they were playing in the middle of the season, then I'd be like, oh sure, Texans, no question about it. But I'm worried about them, and so I'm going with the coach again. Like I think that they have the better coach. I think the Texans just don't have it this year, and yeah, I'm going Chargers.
Yeah. All right. So we split on that. I just feel like the Texans are just going to do it, and they're going to turn it on when it needs to be turned on. Ravens Steelers. We don't have to cover this one again. We both go Ravens. Clearly. And now we didn't really talk about this one, the Bills versus the Broncos. Now this is very dangerous for Josh Allen and company. I know they could pull out all the stops and win by 30 plus and score over 45 or whatever they do. But the Broncos have been very, very good as of the last 2 months. They've really found their stride. Bo Nix is dealing. Their defense is outstanding. And, it just seems like the Bills shouldn't just look at this like, all right, let's move on to the following week. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to look at playing the Texans or the Chargers next week.
So this is a Sunday afternoon game, which bodes well for the Broncos. But here's the thing about the Broncos and the Bills, right? Is that they both play in stadiums that can be under 3 feet of snow. Yeah. So no weather situation for the Bills is really going to phase the Broncos like that, right?
Yeah.
And
so that advantage is taken away.
Right. Now, I will say that, like, Bo Nix, he played at Auburn. He's from Alabama. He played in Oregon. Like, I don't think they get a lot of snowstorms, so I don't know how accustomed to it he is at this point. But still, like, all in all, like, I don't think weather's going to be a factor in this one.
And what's crazy is if the Bills and the Ravens win, then they will face each other next week, which sucks, because I want to see one of them face the Chiefs, not the Chiefs versus the Texans or the Chargers.
But we'll get to that. I want to talk about the Bills and the Broncos because I think it's really an intriguing matchup, because I think that if you had asked me 4 weeks ago, right,
you would
Bills
laugh.
versus Broncos, I'd be like, there's no question the Bills are going to wipe the floor with them. The Broncos are good, but I don't think the Bills got it. After the Patriots-Bills game in week 16.
17.
No, 17 was...
18. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
They played 16 and 18, yeah.
Crazy.
I know, I hate when the league does that.
Annoying,
But anyway, when the Pats played the Bills in week 16, the Bills barely snuck out of their home stadium with a win, 24-21. And the Pats had 3 turnovers where take one of them away and they probably win the game.
And that's saying a lot.
The Broncos and the Patriots are built very similarly. It's just that the Broncos have better players and better coaching. So, but Pat Surtain and Christian Gonzalez are both like two of the best
premier guys,
two of the best man corners in the league. They both play the 2 highest amount of man coverage in the league. And so all that makes me wonder, they both have rookie quarterbacks. You know what I mean? There's a lot of similarities. All that makes me wonder, did the Patriots provide a blueprint to the Broncos?
Don't say that too loud.
How to slow down Josh Allen and the Bills.
Wait, when's this game? We should release this episode after this game. I don't want them to hear that.
It's Sunday at 1 p.m. rather. But I could really see a world where
it'll be close,
where
closer than the Bills would like.
They provided the perfect blueprint, but the Broncos actually have the team to actually make it happen and get the win. Yeah. So, all that said,
it's going to come down to Josh Allen and James Cook, man.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah, me too.
I'm taking the Bills.
I really want the Bills. I usually am like a fan of the underdog or whatever, but I want the Bills because I know that the Chiefs don't stand a snowball's chance in hell against the Bills. I know it. We've seen it, and I want to see it again. Actually, I don't. I don't want to see it again because I want to see the Chiefs lose their first playoff game.
Yeah, what I really don't want to see is Bo Nix somehow beat the Bills because of what I just said,
and
right?
Get smothered by the Ravens.
And then beat the Ravens also.
Oh.
Because like we find out that like Lamar and Derek are not really postseason guys. Although someone said that Derek has some good games in the postseason, so I can't say that for sure. But or like just we find out that like Lamar is not a postseason guy, and Bo Nix wins like 17-13 and goes up against Pat Mahomes in the AFC Championship game, and they lose, right? And then like
they could beat the Chiefs.
And then like no, but I don't want to see that happen. And then like the Lions like get beat up on their way to the championship, and they're like all hurt in the Super Bowl, and Pat Mahomes wins another one. That's what I don't want to see.
That's not going to happen. For the Broncos, though, they do have the toughest road in the playoffs. They were the last team to secure a spot. They have to beat the Bills, then likely the Ravens, then maybe the Chiefs, likely the Chiefs, I mean, that's a
Probably.
tough road. I hate how the Chiefs got a first round bye because I know they'd be out this weekend if they actually had to play a good team.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
Listen, if it was them playing the Broncos right now instead of the Bills,
I would love that shit.
I would be 50-50. I'd be on the fence.
I would have my popcorn kernels like in their bowl ready to go.
Yeah. So who do you think it's going to be? Super Bowl.
All right, I'm calling it now. It's the most popular pick among the public, and it is the Bills and Lions. Two teams that have never won the Super Bowl. I think that would be the most entertaining Super Bowl. The two best teams in the NFL are the Bills and the Lions. Frankly, that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Bills, Lions, Lions win.
Okay. I'm close to that. I think it's the Lions on the NFC side also. But I think it's the Ravens.
Yeah, I knew it.
I think it's the Ravens.
That would be good. That would be nice.
It's wishful thinking. Like, if I were a betting man, I'd probably be betting on the Chiefs, honestly. Just because I've learned throughout life, you don't bet against Tom Brady. You don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. Sorry. But they don't. Tom didn't make it every year, right? Pat's not going to make it every year. I think that this is
Definitely
one of
not
those
this
years. I think that the Ravens meet the Bills in the divisional round, and I think that the Ravens are just the more talented team. I think that at home, that Ravens crowd is infectious. They're loud. They're used to playoff football, but they've been fiending for another Super Bowl.
But they only get to play one home game against the Steelers, and if they play the Bills, that will be in Buffalo.
Oh, you're right.
Yes. It makes it very interesting, but we're also not. I don't want to like bring these guys up because I can't stand them. But the Eagles, I would really hate to see a Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl again. That would be very frustrating, very annoying. We've seen it. We're not really into it, and I might sit it out if it happens. I won't. I'll watch it, but. That would be the worst case scenario. The Chiefs and the Eagles. The best case scenario, Lions, Bills.
Yeah. I want to see the Bills go and lose. As a Patriots fan. But,
I want to see the Lions go and win, and if they don't win, I want to see the Bills win. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. I say I want to see the Bills win, but I wouldn't be mad. I mean, lose. I wouldn't be mad if they lost. I think that Bills fans are some of the best fans in the NFL. They're the ones who started the whole like donating to the charity of another team. I think that someone helped them into the playoffs, and they started that. They do it when people get hurt.
Jump through tables and
right.
Pregame,
They've been through some
chilies,
of the worst
weather.
years. Right, the 4 in a row, losing 4 in a row.
That's the most impressive stat, and the most depressing.
Than that, right? So I give them credit. But
I think impressive and depressing sound similar because of the Bills' 4-year run.
And I like Josh Allen a lot. Like, big fan.
And James Cook, man, hell yeah.
Right,
James
I like.
Cook.
Cook.
Oh man, so awesome, dude.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I mean, we have taken up enough of your time. We're gonna bring you to the backyard one last time, and don't worry, we don't have a shotgun this time. So without further ado. Doghouse. I'm gonna let you go first.
Yeah,
I got a slew of things to say.
This is the last one of the season.
Yes, it is.
So my main person for the doghouse. I don't think that this comes as much of a surprise.
Okay.
It's you.
What, did the Venmo not clear?
Oh, it cleared. It just took a couple months longer than expected.
Just a few. We might change that next year and just do all the payouts at the end of the season, so we don't have to deal with that.
I think that
probably smart. That's what Jay does. So.
I think that that's not a bad way to go about it, and it goes well with one of the suggestions I have for the league.
Cool.
So yeah, we should discuss that. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to have to vote on coming from this season going into next season.
Definitely.
So we'll have a whole episode to break all that stuff down so that people are well informed and are prepared.
For sure.
But But yeah, no,
You have anyone else? Is anyone joining me, or am I just out there in the cold?
I'm gonna put Scott in there. He got money.
Ooh.
He got money. He had a great season, but he didn't get top score as much as like I would have expected. Being
He didn't-
number,
he didn't get
he
it
didn't
at
get it at all.
No.
See, there you go.
Let me.
Um,
I can give you the breakdown if you'd like.
And so, yeah, please do. And so, for that, and for the fact that he had the winning combo sitting on his bench to win the whole league, and he screwed the pooch in
And
the
he
last
would've-
weekend.
He would have done it. He would have done it.
Yeah.
In the semis, he dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Top scorers this season: Pascal twice, Marvelous
Thank you.
twice,
Yeah.
Billy twice, Aggie twice,
Wow.
Colin 4 times. Congratulations, Colin.
Good job, Colin.
And then the single boys would be Sean and Frank. Towards the end of the season, they hit it once.
Wow, good job, guys.
Yeah, pretty nice.
So who is that who missed out on it?
Well, that'll bring me to my doghouse picks.
Okay.
All right. I have a couple top dogs, right? My sharing 1A and 1B, you could choose which one you want, A or B, would go to Mr. Mike Longfellow.
Longfellow, he had a good season.
Oh, I know he did, but he finished in 4th place and cleared $0 in winnings.
No.
Yeah.
What? Hold on. So,
Sean
our
Dennehy
last place team
and Frank.
Our,
Yes.
our two worst,
The
two
bottom two.
worst teams in our league
Got
made
Longfellow's
more
money.
money
Yes.
than Mike Longfellow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I'm also the 1A or 1B, the opposite one. I'm gonna give you that
Okay,
last.
okay, sure.
But I'll give you a couple runner-ups where
Yeah.
you could hang out in the doghouse but have to leave by midnight.
Okay.
Frank Maheen
Okay.
for his free fall into the unofficial last place as he lost the 11th place game to Captain Cannabis.
Oh man.
Frank, you were in the
Frank.
playoffs up till like week 10
See,
and just
it
fell
sucks.
off.
It sucks even more for him because it doesn't mean anything to win the last place shitter trophy.
Yeah.
Like
who gets it? Sean or Frank? I don't know.
no, we do know because it goes to Sean because we
Okay.
already established
So
that.
Babalu,
but-
please ship that to Sean. Sean will
Oh,
pay the
man.
shipping.
Want,
Um,
Franco.
And then Babalu, Jay, and myself for also clearing $0 this season and put it in there. Yeah.
Oh,
Jay, you made the
man.
playoffs just like Longfellow and didn't get it, so you get a little bit more of a top tier. Babalu and I are sad. Next year, Baba, right?
Yeah,
We'll see.
yeah.
And then the 1A will go to none other than Agarald Antoine for having the stupidest, dumbest, shittiest fantasy football name anyone has
Oh,
ever come up
man.
with. Hashtag change your name. We can't stand it.
I'll say this. I enjoy saying it. I fucks your mom.
Yeah, with like a fun accent. Okay, that's cool. But Aggie, please change your name next year. That would be incredible.
Listen, I think that we need a punishment for falling in last place. I think that that's something that we can talk about on the next episode.
maybe a name change.
Maybe a name change.
Maybe then we all go against Aggie and just defeat him every week. That'd be great.
But I do think we need a punishment going into next season, so we can discuss that. But hopefully it comes with a reward also.
Yes, that would be nice.
Yes.
All right, guys. I think we're gonna that's gonna take us to the end. We had a great season. Congratulations to all the
no,
winners.
No.
Wait, whoa.
No.
Oh, hold on.
No.
Hold on.
Before we do this,
Hold the
I
phone.
have to add
Ooh. Oh yeah.
some dog house representation.
Oh, okay. I'm already in there.
Now,
so you're gonna
yes.
give me a pass.
No,
Give me
no passes. I want to inform everyone of what the waiver wire list looks like for our most recent waiver wire moves.
Sounds like a couple $0 guys probably did a few things.
On December 31st
Happy New Year.
at 7 p.m., East Coast Virus
What's up, guys?
swapped out Joshua Carty, his kicker, for Jason Sanders.
Yes. And I lost a
What?
point. I lost a point because of
What?
that. Okay, I
All right.
explained that.
Wild.
I'll take
All
a
right?
pass.
Yeah, small pass. After that, it's catch this fade, swapping out the Chargers defense for Devin Singletary. Perfectly okay.
Why?
I mean,
I get it.
He still had something to go for. Like,
I get it.
Like maybe he had a reason. Then we have at 5:30 a.m. G-Men's Crusaders dropping Ty Johnson on December 28th.
He had a bad dream about him or something.
You've been out of this for how? What? December 26th, catch this fade. Picked up Raheem Blackshear for the Ravens defense. Makes sense, right? Chuba Hubbard went on IR, right? But before that, at 5:14 a.m., G-Men's Crusaders. Ty Johnson for Demarcus Robinson.
Hey, he dropped him anyways.
Dropped him. But also before that, at 5:13 a.m., G-Men's Crusaders, Audric Estime for Mac Hollins.
Maybe that's a keeper move.
Maybe.
Probably a bad one.
But that's what I'm saying. Then before that, we're back into real territory with steal your face mask, catch this fade, salute your short fellow,
$0
steal your face mask, catch this fade, salute your short fellow, steal your short fellows. Then on the 21st, we had great. Add Brandon Ayuk, which probably won't work out in his favor, but like it's not a bad move.
It's understandable.
And
he dropped Ty Johnson, actually.
He dropped Ty Johnson. Wow, a lot of Ty Johnson.
Yeah, what's
moves.
up with that? Isn't he like the third string running back on the Bills?
Yes. But and the second string is a rookie. But before that, I do want to point out one waiver move that deserves emphasis and actually played a huge role in a lot of what happened over the next couple weeks.
Oh, yes.
We have Captain Cannabis.
A smart.
Making a smooth move.
This may be
this might be like league changing next year. He picks up.
Hold on. Before you even drop this.
Sly as a fox.
Hey.
All right, Sean, what you got?
Sean Dennehy, Captain Cannabis, makes one of the shrewdest moves of the year. Picking up a recently dropped David Montgomery, folks.
In waivers, because I had him in my waivers too, and Sean just had the high pick.
Scott decided to drop David Montgomery because he wasn't going to help him in the playoffs, and he dropped him to pick up someone else. A move that I think was maybe not the best move. However, Scott drafted him high, so it's not like he was going to keep him.
True.
But he opened him up for the shrewdest move of getting him in waivers with the possibility of keeping him for a 10th round pick next year.
Let's hope it doesn't blow up in his face. I think that's going to be pretty proper for Sean next year.
I think that like he's got Puka for a 9th and David Montgomery for a 10th. And David Montgomery might be back. We said this already. He might be back for the playoffs. He might be full health coming into next season.
That's pretty impressive.
I think that is a huge move. He dropped Amir Abdullah, who ended up being a huge ad for Billy in the championship. Not enough, but like it was a couple shrewd moves on Billy's side or some luck on Marvellous's side. Because could you imagine if Chuba Hubbard didn't go on IR and because that's who Marvellous would have started over Jameson Williams. And imagine Chuba Hubbard only gets 9. Like 17 points instead of the 24. And there you go. It goes to Billy like that. So there was a domino effect to that move. But I wanted to point it out because I thought that was a hell of a move by Sean picking him up.
Yeah. Congratulations, Sean. You lost the league, but you won something at the end of it.
Yeah,
good stuff, man.
And going into last year, he only had Puka as a keeper, and I know that was a sore spot for him.
Yeah, he didn't want that.
Having these two guys, you got to feel good about that.
Aren't you glad you didn't keep DK Metcalf? I would be. All right, guys. On this and that note, we're out of here, and always remember when chilling poolside in the off season to
put it in the air.
This is the Put It in the Air podcast.
That was good.
Unreal.
That was long.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That part alone was an hour and 23.
Yikes.
Yeah. So probably get 3 hours something, but
It's multi-week,
yeah.
end of the season.
Yeah, I think it's all right. I'm looking forward. We got to do what we were talking about for the Super Bowl. We
Yeah.
gotta do it. So let's try to set that up.
Yeah, let's bring it to the people. Let's
Notice
let
how
them
I
see.
didn't say what we're gonna do
Yeah.
to try to get people excited.
Let's let them see what we're talking about.
Yeah. It's
Hint,
coming. it's gonna be in front of your eyes. So get ready. Get
Yo,
ready.
man, the wife hooked me up for Christmas. I got a Put It in the Air sign for us.
Yeah, that's dope.
Dope.
I love it.
She also got me a dope fantasy football t-shirt, which I will bring out on the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And a Christmas tree ornament with my name on it.
Dope.
Drafting the best, well, 2 of the best teams out of the 3 leagues I was in. What up? So hyped, dude.
Exciting.
I like winning. I don't know if you realize that.
Yeah, I think I picked that one out.
Good.
But on that note, we out.
We're out of here, man. Thanks, guys. Peace.